That's true. We have those two.
Are they? They're doing a good job of wiping out Nycos on their own, John. I don't have to
Well,
We
tell
that's
didn't
you.
wipe out
the
no
mantra.
house.
The mantra of D&D player groups in Nycos is, "Are we the bad guys?" That's a, they constantly ask, and they don't even ask it of their own stream because everybody obviously knows they're not the bad guys.
Yes,
But they're always asking, "Is that group over there the bad
yes,
guys?"
the
I
other we
possibly the best wish that I have ever seen made. Our group made
You're
Well,
welcome.
2 weeks ago.
yes, they worked really hard at that. By the way, welcome to Nycos. This is Shatterhorn. Today's episode, Waking Nightmares. But before we get to that, we're going to have our players introduce themselves, and we have a special guest of honor, someone who has existed in 4 of the iterations himself and has personally watched the destruction of Nycos at least once. So you guys will be able to pick his brains as we go along as well. Uh,
yeah,
let's
I
have,
feel
let's have you introduce yourself, starting with Freya, then Valara, and then finally Hart.
Hello, I am Freya Fireheart of the 24th Moot Getting Out.
34th.
34th. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said.
He
So
said 24th, but it's fine.
I'm a wild sorcerer. I'm, I have a scar on my face, but it makes me look even more beautiful. Somehow.
It makes you look
And
mysterious.
mysterious. What was the question?
Or wasn't one.
Oh, was it? I'm making one.
Okay,
How
make
do
him
you
one.
do today? Oh, great. I'm going to go to the next person.
Gene.
Okay, I am Jean. I play Valara Arendisa. I'm a fighter, and I am Chief to the 27th Moot.
And
Uh,
And
Hart. No, I'm just saying and Hart. Now it's Hart.
I
and
am Heart. Heart help fixing.
Alrighty, and our special guest today with us is Dave Peterson. Arguably the only person on the planet that knows as much about Nycos as I do. Although many times he goes, "What the hell is it that I know?" Because I don't even know what we just did. And he's kind of sitting in. He's famous for playing Kelman. He's also played Ailman, and I'm trying to remember the name of your captain
Something
when
man.
you played the starship, when you played the airship
Oh,
captain.
it was one of the astronauts, I think. It wasn't Buzz. It was
Oh
the
no,
other
you
one.
also you also played Grissom. No, that was your
Grissom.
brother. Your brother
Yep.
played Grissom.
No, I played Grissom.
Played Grissom.
You're
Cigar
my avatar?
cigar smoking gritty wizard.
You're
Grissom in one of the iterations actually was helping the bad guys until he figured out he was helping the bad guys. So,
Oh.
So it was the Are we the bad guys? Oh yes we are.
no,
But Grissom is the one that appeared to my character.
Yes.
aha.
Master of the Forge.
Yep. He didn't listen to him. He wanted me to make a bunch of friends. But that didn't happen.
Yet. Didn't happen
well,
yet.
he kept on hugging the zombies, and the zombies kept on going. "Bleh."
And Kelman wanted to just put Nycos back in its proper orbit.
So
Hence
that,
he's the engines guy.
Yep.
well, we know how it was moved. All we have to do is find the shards and put them back in and move it back.
I found several of the engines, but never was able to turn them on before somebody threw a screw into it, and we went a different direction with it. So anyway,
We
okay.
we actually are.
Well, the only way to do it is to come back and play.
Yep, you'd have to be descendant of because after the seventh iteration, the humans remained on Nycos.
humans remain on Nycos.
Thank you, Stephen.
No, one of the iterations we brought back the bug, so you can't go there. You have to, it depends on which iteration you're using.
Well, actually, we
Well, you
went
guys
back.
can therefore teach Dave about what's going on now.
Absolutely, it's interesting. What can
Alrighty.
I say?
So when you open the first Oculus door, there's a crotchety old wizard sitting there.
Crotchety.
Whatever you
Yeah.
want him to be, Dave.
I'll
Whatever you want
show
him.
you the crotch.
Yeah,
All
yeah. Oh,
right.
wow. I can see him. He's sitting there with his hand out there mansplaining things. Great.
Excuse you.
Hey, wait a minute. Can't open the
Privacy, thank
door.
you.
Can't open the door when I'm, on,
It's
on
the
the
loo.
toilet.
He's in the loo.
Whoops, Valara
Oops,
says.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, guy.
And that's the nightmare that came to be. That's game over. Thanks for playing, guys. No. Just kidding. Stay here, watch and
No,
learn.
thank you, says Valara.
What the
No.
hell am I looking at?
She
Hey!
kind of turns away and says, have you been captive here? Because we're just kind of releasing things from here.
Well, as a matter of fact, in his seated position, he's probably been releasing things as well.
Just fumes, man.
Annoying.
Ugh.
Making it worse.
Gaseous fumes.
Thank God the channel's NSFW, so you can say what you want. That's great.
Anyway,
NS, what?
NSFW. It's an acronym that the kids use these days, Gene. It's something that's new. It's not part of our generation. But now they put NSFW because it stands for not suitable for work. Means you're not supposed to watch this channel while you're doing your job.
Okay.
Excuse me, it's not safe for work. Just letting you know.
Oh, I'm totally making it unsuitable.
No, that's too upper crust for us youngins.
Okay, not safe.
Right.
Meaning they get in trouble if they got caught watching.
Exactly. So we label things online just in case. We don't want anyone to not be able to view whatever they want to view whenever they want to view it. They just shouldn't get caught.
I got you.
Doing it at work.
I got you. Because
Okay.
if it was a conference or something, you might be safe to be watching it because all they would see is people talking.
Yep.
And, wouldn't
And
hear the
strange
conversation.
pictures of people. Okay. Anyway, is he really there?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Is that
Perfect
him?
thing-
Dave, are you gonna
perfect-
play today?
Perfect thing to be captivated is it with.
Yeah, well,
He actually is
he's
doing
even
the
here.
bio. He actually is doing the bio break. There he is.
Proficiency.
So yeah, he is
Well-
he is sitting there. What I think is the best thing for Vafthrender to have captured, but somebody from one of the iterations and holding them captive.
Especially since he was an outsider.
Do you need help?
This robot says, ask you.
Yeah, describe yourself, guys, so you know what you're looking at.
I am a six-armed, six-leg robot with a humanoid-ish chest, plated in yellow-orange
Amber
crystalline plates,
amber plexiglass.
and
Plexus
well,
too.
it's crystalline.
Yeah.
And then I have a golden symbol on my chest that is of a tree in a certain shape of a heart.
tree. Yeah, we had a character that
Shape of a heart.
did. She was kind of like a druid kind of. She did a lot of things with trees and
All the way up
branches.
up until she married the computer.
Yep. Another iteration. Anyway,
Monica.
no, I don't need any help. But you look like you want to be a bug. I don't understand all the little arms you
Well,
got.
he's very versatile. I mean,
I'm
to
sure he
do.
is.
I mean, he's got those. He's a
What-
wonderful companion.
Got arms.
3 sets of arms.
Are you speaking from experience? Freya?
Valara.
No, not Freya. This is Valara.
Oh, Valara. You're
Well-
speaking from experience there?
Valara is a blonde, and she speaks with an American accent.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, well.
Um,
Now,
I-
what are
I'm
you trying to
Valara.
release this time? Now that you're releasing all these creatures, I assume.
well,
you're-
you were you were in the room with the Dracolich, except you were through this door way that
Ah, okay.
Nope,
led
he
to the
was nope, he
Yeah.
Dracolich.
wasn't not with the Dracolich.
We we
No.
Oh,
we we won't keep you any longer. And he hits the button that closes the iris door.
no, 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 no,
Hopefully nothing gets caught when it closes.
no. She opens it up again. Look at, you're free to go now.
Okay, I will step out and
Wash your hand.
Jeez.
Wash your hand.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
Wear a mask, 6 feet.
It was a joke. Jeez Louise.
wow, man.
Way to go, Steven. BP to Steven. Crass, but funny.
Um, I
Maybe
mean,
crass, but please wipe your ass.
people.
Exactly.
Some of the things that have been locked in here have been locked in here for untold
Between
account
127
time.
and 1270 years.
I got you. Like in parallel universes as well. Yeah, I got you. All right.
What?
You don't know about. I'm
I'm gonna
don't
ask you.
recognize.
Do I recognize those words?
No.
Damn it,
Well,
no.
you know what the universe is. The universe is everything.
Yeah. The universe is everything,
And the everything is Nycos.
and everything is Nycos.
He's probably talking about the storms or iterations.
Well,
Context clues, common sense.
Do you know
anyway.
about the storms on Nycos? That lead to
Oh
other...
yes, I know about the storms.
Oh, good.
I know about the storms. They're in every iteration of Nycos. Every parallel universe, the storms are always there. It seems like it's the only constant.
Well, some of them have closed.
Well, that's
I
because
know.
things have been put in motion to close them. So
You're welcome.
That's White Veil, isn't it? Blue wants
No,
to keep everything the way it is.
only if you're doing it on purpose. If you go and close it to fix things, then it closes to fix things.
But meanwhile, the blue veil's going, stop pushing buttons! Stop it! Everything was fine!
Hart's gonna go look in the room behind him.
Okay, so in the room behind him, there's a bunk. There's a couple of paper folded with pictures in them of star charts and the kind of stuff that you'd expect a wizard would.
Treatises.
Yeah.
Treatises. What's this one? And it unfolds a couple times. Has a elf girl on it.
Oh, Valar is about 6'5" and Nordic. Large frame.
Freya's
She's a warrior.
Freya's slight of frame, darker hair. Or red hair. Did you have
Dark red hair.
dark red hair?
Hart's
Elven.
7.5 foot. Very broad of frame. 6
foot.
arms.
Foot.
He's
6
got
foot.
great legs though.
All 6 of them.
Yeah, very shapely.
Anyway, um,
Okay, well
I-
then, if this is just a bunk, then we should go through the next door.
okay.
Try to find information about this.
Okay. In
Weird
the
lab.
other room, you see 7 cages, if you can call them cages, cells, wireframe boxes, side by each. Each one's about a 5 foot by 5 foot. Not really enough space to completely lay down if you were a full-size human being. And on the floor of each of them are, excuse me, the skeletal and decaying remains of creatures that look like something between a human and other creatures. One of them looks a little bit like an ape of some sort, but the cranial capacity would have been like 4 times its normal size. And
Grays.
the next one over is small and cat-like and has a tail nearly as long as
Oh
its
shit.
as its torso, but its legs end in normal shaped feet, and it looks like it was like trying to walk. It's the curvature of its back is just all messed up from the biostructure. It was apparent that they were failing at whatever they were attempting to do.
Yeah, and Valara has a.
In each case, there are elements of of the creatures that look more mechanistic than biological.
But
Like
then we
the
saw that.
machines were trying to replace organs or replace muscle
Parts.
structure or something.
So the cybernetic
Yes,
organisms made out of organic flesh
right.
are trying to be.
And two of them are extremely crudely done. It looks like they had done some of the experiments long, long ago, and others are more recent.
Wait, whoa, reset?
But wait a moment. Recent?
More,
Relatively.
more recent. In other
Oh,
words, the oldest of the experiments were the ones that were closest to humanity, and the farther they went away, the more
animalistic.
no, the more mechanistic. It's like they
Oh,
were
no.
actually sewing. At one point, it looks like they were sewing with a needle flesh to steel.
That never
Interesting.
works. I've tried.
You would be an interesting creature with flesh.
The six chairs,
You are an
the
interesting
seven
creature.
chairs are still there. By the way,
Hmm.
they haven't gone away.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about her vial with the red glowingness in it?
That was actually in Freya's hand, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I'm keeping that, by the way.
No, that's Valara's.
I'm keeping it.
You're not keeping it.
Why not?
It is Valara's.
Alright. I hand her the red vial.
Okay, and as you as you go to hand it to her, the glow of the red increases, and you can actually feel the material, even though you really can't make out what's in there. Uh, Changes the um, weight distribution dynamics. It's like it's trying to reach out for her as you're trying to hand it to her.
This is weird. She takes it. Thank you, Freya.
It,
As soon as you're in contact with it, the red lights go out.
Oops.
Perhaps you should open it. I think it was meant to go to you. Remember, it said renew and something from your hand.
yeah, that's definitely.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, let me help you open this up.
Yes, but it also said something that was very strange. Welcome, Your Majesty.
I open it up for her.
You can't do that. It's in her hand, dude.
Alright.
Okay.
He can offer to open it for you, is what he could do. He could say, I can open that for you.
It's okay. She does open it. What's this?
Okay, as your right hand reaches to open it, your right hand takes a hold of it, but does not turn the cap.
I got just the strangest message on my screen. According to Wikipedia, hyperactive disorder is flashed right on top of this.
That's an ad. That's a pop-up ad. You
Oh,
probably have a virus someplace on your machine.
damn.
Just close it and ignore it. It'll happen again, I'm sure.
I've never had anything like that.
Yep.
Anyway,
It happened.
Pop-ups is a really, really, really famous virus. Really old strategy, actually.
And it's not necessarily a virus. It depends on what she has open up in the background.
That's true. She got something in the background that's open that's doing it. So it sounded like a virus to me.
Yeah, if you got pop-ups going on your desktop, that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. I had that virus before.
okay. She does
It's not one
open.
virus. It's just called malware.
She
Right.
opens up the vial.
Okay, no, you put your hand on it, and your right hand won't open it.
Oh,
Oh.
You actually
here.
are holding it like this, and the hand that would be turning it won't turn it.
You need help?
What is wrong with your hand?
And
You put your hand back and you shake it. It's like nothing wrong with it. You reach up for it again, and it won't turn.
Here, may I help?
Just
Hold
a
up,
moment.
hold up. Polara, say this. Repeat after me.
Okay. She hands it to you.
Reason for refusal of duty. Inquiry.
That's the terminology it asks. It asks you're telling her to say that, right?
Yeah, I'm telling her to say that.
Reason for refusal of action.
Cutie.
A little green lettering appears across the lower side of your right eye. Inadequate justification for taking on undue danger.
Does
Identified.
inadequate just?
Ident.
Oh, sorry.
She
So
has to tell
I'm.
you. You have to wait for her to tell you what she read because that's
Well,
Okay.
incorrect.
I was thinking that she was reading it out loud, but that's fine.
Okay, I'll read. I read it out loud.
Okay, now
Inadequate justification for taking on danger,
undue danger.
undue danger,
Uh,
nature of danger.
identify. Yeah, identify danger.
Uh,
Identify.
Extraction and removal of foreign corrupted nanites.
Okay.
Define renewal.
Process of replacing invalid nanites with valid nanites.
Define reason for renewal.
Renewal is its own reward.
Hmm. Right now, I think we'll hold on to this because if I remove the nanites I have now, that hand might not function anymore, and then what am I gonna do?
No, that's not what it's saying. But yeah,
Uh,
we should totally keep it.
define source of corrupted nanites.
Good question. Nanite corruption due to extended contact with foreign entity.
Did these nanites come from the chair or the hand?
Which question? Who are you asking?
Oh, that's so I got to figure out how to say it to
Right.
a computer.
Right.
What do you guys think?
I
Ah,
can't,
he's gone.
I'm
I
gone.
can't tell you. All I know is it totally knocked me off when I was in the chair, quote unquote, being renewed.
Right. Well, what we're saying is that what I'm thinking is maybe these corrupted nanites were expunged from you by the process.
Okay.
Not that they were created by the process for you to interact with, but
Ask.
that they were removed from. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to ask.
In the process of renewal, were corrupted nanites removed from this
You're
from
too.
myself?
That's too inspecific for a computer.
Affirmative.
Okay. The renewal process removed corrupted nanites.
Is it corrupted data, corrupted nanites from the host?
Define method for renewal of nanites.
Replacement by what's the word I'm looking for? It's a computer term. You guys would know it. What do you call it when?
Reinstall?
Iteration update.
Uh,
Iteration 2.964 or something like that.
Define common procedure for corrupted nanites.
Expulsion, reprocessing, or elimination.
I say we should keep it. But
Define reprocessing of nanites.
Expunging of faulty data, testing of practical functionality, reassignment to future duty.
Show designated hardware.
The chair and level 4, shelf 7 will light up.
all right, and I go down there to have a look.
You see a place where there could be a module like the one that you're currently holding could be placed.
In meta,
Mhm.
these are the kind of questions that we should have been asking if we wanted to find out more about the hand.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Well, therefore, you're in a place that might be able to answer the questions about the hand. as well.
Right.
Okay. I
Define Skynet.
Skynet, operational title used euphemistically for the uh, overtaking of humanity by its own creation.
oops.
Define Prime Directive.
Uh, Prime directive, initial assignment of a unit, the purpose for which it is designed.
Is this hand now free of
Uh,
corrupted nanites?
Current street value of hand is unknown, ergo, we cannot specify whether the hand is free or not. Most likely not, however, as the
No, no, no.
technological value of it probably exceeds more than 27.5742 Zulegs based on current trade within the affiliated
you,
federation.
you gotta be really super specific and not talk
Okay.
to it like it's a person.
Uh,
So, identify self.
Autonomous node 3414 VTRD.
Define autonomous node 3434R1D's purpose or prime directive.
Uh, Expulsion and elimination of human species among the genetic uh, continuum for the preservation of the planetoid known as Nycos.
Oh, that's nice.
There we go.
so my hand was originally built.
No, he asked about hearts.
Oh,
No, I asked about the hand.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
Ha!
oh,
Wait,
now,
is that a misspoke, John?
Yes, I was giving you what I thought when I heard I heard you say 3434. I thought you were saying 34 as in yours because you have a 34 in
No,
yours.
I was trying to repeat exactly what you said.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't close enough. I misunderstood. My bad. Purpose is the manipulation and modification of materials in pursuit of primary units objective.
what's primary unit?
You.
Wait, ask for the username.
No. Hold on.
It called her
Define
princess.
define any secondary objectives.
Secondary objectives used in utilitarian cleanliness, occasionally used to brush away follicles from the optical vision of primary objective, and rarely to pick one's nose.
Eh.
Okay, so the hand's clean, so to speak.
Well, thank goodness for that. I would have hate to found out what it was doing.
God.
Right. So
Define user ID. Yeah, there you go. What is user ID?
Assigned to anonymous biome.
Hmm.
register anonymous biome, prime unit, Valara.
File corrupt. Access not allowed. Access not approved.
Defrag and reinstall corrupted file.
Incapable as primary drive. Not functioning.
Wait a
Identify source of reprogramming a primary drive.
All access to such has been reassigned to Afrit Dejana.
What? No. Okay.
What? No! No! No!
No, please.
Oh,
Does that mean I have to talk to him again?
no. It just
Okay.
means that should this circumstance arise, I cannot set you as the administrator of your own hand. Yet.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to do, was set you as the administrator of your own hand so that you'd have full and utter control without AI oversight.
Yes,
And
and
so that if it were to happen, you would never have to worry about allegiances of the hand because you would be the administrator.
right,
But
right.
apparently it has an allegiance other than you to this Ifrit Dejana,
you
and
know he's
therefore
the
you are
No,
guy.
not.
no, 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 no. You were asking about where the data. Oh, nice background, Dave. Nuclear explosion in the back. Oh, it's tank. World of Tanks. That's cool. It looks like your head just blew up. That-
Mind blown.
Mind blown. That's exactly what it looks like. Mind blown. No, what I was trying to convey, and maybe this is why we need to do a little bit better meta conversation. Um, she, as an autonomous biome, has control of the hand. You were asking about getting an update or access to control it, and the access to control it files have been corrupted because the access to the prime would have had to gone through onto certain other places that it can't get to anymore because those
Right.
that hence the corruption.
So, well, what it said specifically is that it is in this is all in meta.
Hi.
Yeah,
So, what it said specifically is that it is loyal to the prime unit, meaning Valara,
yes,
most likely.
yes,
So, what I was trying to do was define, instead of it saying prime unit, meaning whoever it's attached to, I wanted it to assign ownership of the device to prime unit Valara, but when I tried to have it write that into its code, it was not allowed to.
right. It can't. Right.
So I wanted to ask it for the source of where that rewriting capability is.
And that is a free Dejana.
Right.
Because
So
remember
he's the only one that can
the
rewrite it.
stipulation we made a long time ago with your wish in particular was there would be no outside source. Ergo, it had to go to a system that is inside source. And a free Dejana is a product of Nycos.
Or whatever source that it has is now a Nycos source.
Right, which is a free Dejana.
Right. So that means, ergo, Free Dejana has the admin login.
So yes, eventually, Dorothy, you'll have to talk to the wizard.
Well, she's talking to some sort of wizard right now.
Mhm.
Where's my mute button? I'm too slow on my mute button today. There we
I'll be
go.
right back. The dogs came out. I gotta close the door.
Okay, who let the dogs out? You let the dogs out.
Hmm.
Okay, so Freya and Kelman can talk a little bit without anybody else around.
Wait. I'm gonna go back down to the bottom part and have a look at.
Okay, so for clarification, it's a cylindrical space in the center of what looks uh, like a electronic or robotic surgery center. There are 7 chairs arrayed in a circle around a box that is suspended from the ceiling by a spider-like construct of walkways.
Is there
And
anything that looks like a console, like
yeah,
on the?
up on the side of the box up above. So you have to walk
Oh,
up on the gantry to get to the keyboard.
all right, I'm gonna go over there.
Okay, there's only 7 symbols on it.
Hmm. Does any of them look familiar from like the other consoles or anything else we have seen?
Nope.
Is there any hatch on top?
Not that you can see. There's a thin layer of metal that's separate from the other, but it's fused so closely you can't get your fingernail under it or anything.
Hmm. Okay. All right, I'm gonna
In the
use.
center of the circular cylindrical space down below was a pedestal that is 1/3 of its dimensions, so 3 foot across, and on the top of it is a square platen that can be used as a table. On the side of the cylinder are steps that appear periodically as it rises, so that you can actually climb up and climb down into the space
I'm
below.
back.
Yeah, we're just filling in Kelman on the physical dimension of the outer room. Freya went back to go look around some more, to putter around more in that cylindrical chamber.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push one symbol.
So you've now climbed up on the gantry, is what you're saying. You're going to walk up onto the gantry.
Um,
Because the symbols are up on the table that, or the
The box
thing
itself.
that's floating up above.
Right.
Mm,
That's where I was.
yeah.
Freya, what are you doing?
I'm having a look at it. I want to understand it. I want to
Are you
understand my
blind?
thinking.
I didn't know you were blind. I didn't know looking involved touching.
You don't know Freya very well. You know Freya very well. For her to know something, she has to like fondle it and put it in her pocket. And
Blow it up. Help it kill the party. You know.
I'm gonna use
if it's got flavors, she's gonna lick it. You know, that kind of thing.
clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance. Gonna look inside the box.
Yep.
Make a wisdom save.
Yes, sir.
Is Jean back?
Not yet. Matter of fact, she's muted herself on top of me
20.
muting her.
Woo!
What?
You got
I
a
said
20 on your
20.
save?
Woo!
Okay, so you hear probably 1,000 voices speaking at the same time. They're all speaking in a language that's not quite decipherable to you, and yet somehow sounds familiar because the meter of it and the context clues of the languages do sound similar. But there are so many voices going on at the same time that they are indecipherable. You can't make out a word of it, but there are thousands of voices going off at the same time.
I'm gonna turn off sound and just go for sight.
Okay. What you're looking at is just a field of black with um, just almost a constant flood of little tiny on and off lights. Just a whole like banks and banks and banks of lights, and they're flipping from on to off to on to off to on to off in,
They go further
in
down.
intricate rare patterns. No, that's the entire
80s
box.
technology.
Technology.
Miles and miles of blinking lights. As
Yep.
far as the eye can see.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn on sound and try to focus in on one voice.
Okay, make a wisdom save again.
All right.
This will be at disadvantage because you already succeeded on not getting lured in by a specific voice, but now you're actually looking for one.
That was a 2, but I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Well, it's going to be a 2 because you're at disadvantage. So when you re-roll, you're going to take the 2, unless you got a BP to burn.
BP, yeah.
Okay, burn off a BP. Make sure you erase it.
All right.
And then do me the favor of rolling a 1. That would be awesome.
15. 15.
Remember, if it falls off the table, it is a 1.
You have to roll twice, remember?
Okay.
So 15 and a 2, but you get to re-roll the 2 with the BP.
It's like non-stop destruction.
Way to go, Dave. Dave just rolled over.
Man, he's flipping out.
He's flipping out, and his mind is blown. This is awesome. Thank you, by the way, to our one viewer who's hanging out with us. We are eternally grateful for your continued and dedicated presence.
19.
19 and a 15. All right, you pick out one voice. The one voice says, "Please remember to turn off the lights. Please 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 remember to turn off the lights.
Remember
Please remember
to turn
off the lights."
off
Alright,
the
stop the
lights.
sound. And just thinking for a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed. If I
Alright,
missed,
I get down.
Yeah, you just missed Freya getting a lesson in computer interpretation.
I'm sorry I missed it. One person on the line and another person taking.
No, I appreciate it, and you remembered to mute yourself shortly after I muted you, so you were on the ask to remove
Yes.
mode. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so Freya's using. She was staring at the box using magic on it.
Ah,
All right.
what did it tell you, Freya?
Please remember to turn off the lights.
Wow, he even said it with
Uh,
the right syncopation. Well done.
oh yes. There's lights inside. Goes off and on in different sporadic and there's wires, I believe. If I know what wires are.
I didn't say any wires. I didn't say anything about wires.
Okay. Um, I wanted to understand it, so I had
He
to look.
used clairvoyance, and clairvoyance gives him whatever he can see, or whatever he can perceive, and whatever he can hear. And so I gave him both what he could perceive, which was miles and miles and miles of little lights going on and off, and then he tried to listen in and heard thousands upon thousands of voices. He went further to try to dedicate down to one voice, and all he got was some little voice saying, "Please remember to turn off the lights. Please remember to turn off the lights."
Okay.
Can I get down?
Yeah. Okay.
So shall we go follow the trail now?
We shall follow the trail. Where's our wizard? Where's he off wandering?
He's right there.
He's right here.
Yeah. He's
By the
just,
way, what's your name?
that's you. Yes, you're muted, but you.
Kelman, of course. Kelman the Chaotic.
Kelvin?
Oh, by the way, congratulations, Dave. You've joined the cadre of people whose names she's misheard. It's Kelman, not Kelvin. So just
Kelman.
add yet another one to your list, Gene.
All right.
Lassiter and Laughter, and Alistair and Alabaster, and now Kelvin and Kelman.
Kelman. Okay.
Kelman the Chaotic.
Kelman the Chaotic. Oh. Okay. She says, I'm Valara and Lisa. Yes. Pleasure to meet you. This is my friend Freya, who uses magic, and this is my friend Hart.
I don't use it. I'm granted it. We work together symbiotically.
And this is Hart, who will say Hart help fixing, but he has a much more extensive vocabulary than that. And he is quite gifted.
He looks like a bug.
Bug. Oh,
Better than Tool.
absolutely. Valar concurs. And then she walks over to keep Floyd hidden. Okay.
No, it was.
Anyway, actually, these runes are part of Freya's people, and we're just exploring them. And she is capable of
Okay, you said runes and you mean ruins, but okay.
ruins.
Yeah, I got confused.
Yeah,
Ruins.
ruins. Uh,
Kelman just stopped in here to go to the bathroom. He doesn't know what the heck you guys are talking about.
yeah.
Hey, we don't need the history lesson.
Well, I believe Freya reminds me of a dark elf or a
No.
under
Under,
a
but he's,
being that lives underground normally. Hart reminds me of the bugs we were trying to kill many, many times over and over and over. Maybe he is a mutant that does not think the same way as a bug does.
Well, I'm
And,
not bug-like. You know, I am a robot.
I'm sorry, 8 legs, you're a bug.
Six-
okay?
six
Or
legs.
6 legs, whatever. So you might be a spider. Same difference. I've seen spiders that have been frozen in time. So
So she,
that's another story.
she's not answering questions.
Mm,
She wasn't like that.
die for the mute button again. All right. Anyway, so Freya's actually her coloration, the darker hair and stuff does give her kind of a darker feel, but she's actually Dayan elf. You would have remembered that being the high elf race. She's
Okay.
short, she's young for
There,
her
there are
for her
very
kind.
very few of them left.
That's true. There are
From
very
what
few,
I
Dan.
remember.
That is right, and that's why she's here. And they were trying to explain that they are in the ruins of a Dayan facility, a structure
Uh,
that dates from long ago. Of course, like I said, you just came in here. You just ducked in to use the
I
toilet.
just came in the loo.
Yeah, you had no idea where you were in time, but
Does Lim still exist in this
Of
iteration?
course, I swam
Yes.
in it.
Okay, because I got plenty of that.
You know, you can really like get some distance when you swim in it. It's not that bad. Try it out sometime.
No, I don't swim in it. I collect it and use it for enhancing my magic. So
uh,
Yeah.
you just made an instant friend, because that's been Freya's thing too. Is
And she
she?
was confident.
Hey man, I'm just trying to make friends with it, you know?
Yeah, he actually when he finds Lemmy tries to talk to it. It's cute. Who's that little guy? Anyway, so if you didn't hear that, Freya, Kelman mentioned that he has some of it in his collection. So
Can I have a look?
looky no touchy.
Of course.
is he gonna pull out
The
a
stuff
flask?
the stuff is can enhance your magic fourfold, but it also has a
A bit of a
as
kick.
as with anything, it has its consequences. So you got to use it very wisely.
Can I talk to him? To them? Can you open?
Talking to Lim. I've never heard about that. Maybe you know something about Lim that I don't. All I know is it's
Hello?
So he's got
uh,
so he's got a flask of it. How much you say is in the flask, Dave? Is it a pint or a quart?
it's more like a quart.
Okay, so you got a quart of lim in a glass jar.
Hello? Are you there?
Yes.
You
Oh,
while you're while,
Valera's.
yeah, it's really funny. You're holding
Mm.
up the jar and he's going, "Hello, can you hear me?" And you're going, "Yes." You realize he's actually talking to the jar. When he does talk to the jar, you see the jar's surface quiver like the voice uh, is pushing against it like a breeze.
So it's a little strange. I've never thought about talking to Lim, but I mean, if it's
I
intel,
don't think you can get out. Can you open it so I can like?
no, I'm not opening the jar. Thank you very much.
No, but don't let it out. But open it so I can hear the voice.
That's
I
if you open it, it
don't.
gets out. You know
I
that.
don't know. It's like an aerosol. It spreads out, and that's why I had to capture it into a vial. So no, I
Okay.
mean, if
If I
they
touch
if they
it,
can hear,
I
they're reacting to you right now. I don't know if they can hear you or not. They
can I,
must.
so I gonna try to place my hand on the jar. See if I can like feel let me.
Let
We
her
we'll
let
allow
her
that.
put like she's holding the jar, but I'm still holding it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm just gonna touch it.
he's got a grip on the lid to make sure you don't try to open it while you're.
Right.
Hello? How are you doing?
Uh, the creepiest thing, Dave, is you see what appears to be a smile with no eyes, no nose, just a grin on the side of the jar.
We just made emoji. Okay, fine. That's great. The first
I'm here.
emoji.
I am back again. I'm sorry.
No, no worries, no worries. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's no problem.
Yeah.
We have the mute button for a reason, and it protects you. That's all. That's it. So you come back and you see Kelman is holding out a quart jar that is filled with a silvery material that looks just, it reminds you of Vex. And he called it Lim. And Freya is now talking with it and touching the side of the jar, and the jar smiled at her. Or rather, the material inside smiled at her.
Oh no, 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 no. Not Freya, not again. I don't want to go swimming in Vex again. I don't want to see you swimming in it again.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you have a safe journey to your to magics. Magics.
It sloshes
There I
inside
go.
the jar and makes a very fat thumbs up symbol inside.
Great.
Nice.
She, uh, she went swimming in a lake of
I understand, but I don't slim. I don't swim
or
in
Vex.
slim. I just capture it to use it for to enhance my magic. Not now swimming.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe I can make armor out of
wait,
it. I have no idea.
how come you call it limb?
She says
This
it's not called them.
Because I call it limb.
Yeah.
isn't it Vex?
The stuff she
No.
lists,
It may.
the stuff she swam in was Vex. Yes.
Yes, the stuff she sent. That was a lake of Vex. It
Yeah,
had
people
been.
call it limb. We also called it limb.
It was contaminated by creatures that
No,
look
no. You
By
you go
people.
that far. You go. It's contaminated by, and you can't remember.
I can't
By
remember the bug.
humans.
Okay.
It was people, but you don't remember the connotations are gone.
Wait, does that mean limb is fixed too? Sorry. Or would it remember at their wish?
Gosh, I don't know. You want to go and find a lake of Vex and
Oh
find out?
shit! No, I don't. Well,
Oh, we know where a
if I
lake
was gonna
is.
find
It's
a
not like
lake
it's
of
not
limb, I would definitely get more flasks. That's for sure.
Well,
Well,
I
we've
know
had
where there
gallons
is a
and
lake of
gallons of
limb,
it.
so whatever.
I have a quart
It
of it.
What's
it
the
de-
difference between limb and Vex then? She asked.
probably the contamination level. Maybe
Yes,
they're
yeah. Now
The
you're
process level. It is
Oh,
processed by certain humans and their machinations.
so
my understanding. There wouldn't be any magic if there wasn't any limb in this world, on this world. So,
okay, and then Vex is contaminated limb.
or the darker
That's what
side
you
of
say,
limb,
but
or processed better or whatever. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
so you may.
processing. She might have understood if she remembered the place, but if she has lost that memory,
No,
then
no. She remembers the place, Gene. She just don't remember what the
Context.
the context of it. You
You
know,
don't know
you're,
that it
there
was an
was a.
other. You don't know what you were one of them. You don't that stuff.
that stuff's been lost.
So you're here. So you're Frey. You're here to find ancestors, a tomb. What's your purpose? Or
I'm here to find my history and about my race.
well, the race that you are, you've been around longer than humans, I do believe. You're thousands of years, generations older than anything. Humans didn't appear on Nycos for quite a long time, if I can remember. They weren't indigenous to this planet, actually. They were brought here for whatever reason through.
They are indigenous now.
Uh,
yes. No, no.
Everybody is now.
He's
Now,
just
how
going.
well, true.
He,
do you remember?
he's going from his memory and his. That's all he's referring to.
I know. I'm as Hart is clarifying
Right.
for the benefit of those present.
Right.
Okay.
They are indigenous now.
Probably through a wish. So, anyway,
It was a great wish.
uh, gotta stay away from those wishes.
There's a lot
Maybe
of
very, very powerful magic, but very, very difficult to control. You have to be very precise, and even when being precise, you may cause a different iteration.
Um,
So,
although this room's architecture does not depict the Dayan culture, as you step out of this chamber, out into the main hall with the group, you'll see that it does. The rest of the building does have distinctly Dayan architectural lines, the archways, the structure of the walls and such, um,
Can I look at?
reflect the
Oh,
ancient ways.
Can I have?
Kelman.
Oh, sorry.
Kelman. What is this
Yeah,
place's name?
I have to
Vafthrender.
recall.
Vafthrender.
I knew it.
It's Vafthrender, Dave.
Okay,
It's
Uh,
a
um,
place in your time. It was after the first Elf War when the elves withdrew.
got you.
So it's one of their old holds.
Okay, cool. Just wanted confirmation on that one.
can I have a look? I want to have a look at the doorway from between the entrance of the room and the exit room, like the doorway itself, and like if it's like was built like if it was like a magic doorway in a sense. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Not
A
if it,
exactly.
dimensional
You can.
dimensional door,
Are you going to use the
translucent.
spell detect magic? Is that what you're doing?
well, I'm using my regular spell, I guess. My regular weird detect magical wild magic, I guess.
Oh, that's called Arcana Sense. Go ahead and roll Arcana. So it's a Wisdom check. I'm sorry, Intelligence check.
Hey,
Whatever Arcana is, if he has it.
Yeah,
you have Arcana actually.
yeah. So whichever skill it's against.
That would be
Oh, hey, Dave. Do you own Worms Revolution on Steam?
No,
I have a gift for
is
you
that
there.
is that is that the newer version of Worms Armageddon?
12.
Yep.
12?
12. Yeah, you're able to pick up very faint tracks of the magic trail that you were following earlier are passing to the left from here. This is
Mm-hmm.
actually where where the path turned away, and you guys decided to go the path less traveled, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna keep on going, follow the path. I guess. This way, guys. The path is still going. I mean,
Yeah,
the trail is
it's
still going down.
much fainter than it was before, and a little harder to follow.
Mm.
Um, After about 40 or 50 paces, as you recall, the floor had dust all over it, and then had this sprinkle of the magical aura or essence over the top of it. But as you go this way, it seems to be breaking up as if the source of magic has been reduced or staunched. It's almost like a creature was bleeding profusely and is now like trying to staunch the flow, and so there's less magic pouring from it.
Mm.
Hmm.
Let's hurry
Why does
along.
that sound familiar?
I don't know.
Creatures, creatures that are literally magic, and they bleed magic, literally.
Hmm.
So it was, I'm
Sounds
trying
like
to
a
remember.
dragon.
So, progressing down this corridor, it's the walls and such here are adorned with dozens and dozens of suits of armor depicting different times and places in history, none of which have an elvish bent, but rather it looks like a collection of human armor over time. So it's got very crude, original, like leather bands and such for leather armor. And as you're progressing down the hallway, you're following almost like the history of the advancement of humanity through at least one of the iterational patterns. To,
Hart is going to study each one, like take image of it,
mm-hmm,
each one in turn because he's, an armor and studies armor. So
right,
seeing the progression of armor would be hugely beneficial for him.
right, right. Furthermore, on the walls behind it are huge panels written in Elven, and even with the differentiation in tongues over time, Freya will be able to actually read most of it pretty much word for word. There are places where the language drifts a bit, makes it a little hard to understand. But
I hear it in my head.
generally, it shows that in the early stages of the relationship, the Eldrin took a paternalistic approach to humanity,
Yeah.
and in its early connection, strived to play guardian to
Basically, they thought humans were primitive, and so they had to be taken care of or taught or
right, and then
whatever.
it looks like it was a friendly relationship because
Hmm.
there are paintings and drawings that either came from an elvish artist or a human artist showing the elves and the humans in collaboration with one another on construction projects and things like that. The uh, first of the great cathedrals, the first of them built, the first of the hexagonal buildings that became ubiquitous early in the second and third iteration, which Kelman would be intimately familiar with.
Yeah, I know. I almost built one of them.
Yes. So the um, the friendliness between the elves and the humans, though, looks like it starts to dwindle about halfway through, because humans, with their incessant greed, started liberating elven artifacts for their own use without permission. In other words, they began
Got
stealing,
them in trouble. Yeah.
started stealing stuff from the elves. And at first, again, the elves were trying to be long suffering and paternalistic and punished only the specific criminals, but later on kind of turned against humanity, thinking that humanity itself might have been corrupted at some point. The area here does show that that staunched blood flow seems to have turned down a corridor, moving away from the armor towards the outside of the building. From here, you can see the last rays of the purpling sunset pouring through. And it kind of makes you realize how long you've been inside the structure, which is almost an entire day you've been down here digging around.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I think it's time we eat something and take a break. But wait a moment. If this is magic is fading, perhaps we should just go on and get to where this leads.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Okay, she picks up the pace.
Okay,
What?
as you guys move along, following the course of the blood towards the windows, you do see that there is what looks like a chapel structure ahead. Reminiscent of the cathedrals you just saw a minute ago, it appears that in this wing of the building they've replicated what must have been early religious practices of Nycos, and laying in the middle of the floor of the cathedral area is a unicorn.
Oh my God. Do we have healing?
Uh,
Yes.
its
Art?
its side has
Thir-
been its side has been sliced open. Its its life essence is the magic that you guys have been tracking, and sitting beside it, trying to tend the wound, is about a 2.5 foot tall elven person. He's got the high pointed ears of an elf, but he's not much bigger than a halfling.
Hello? Is he okay? Is there anything we can do to help?
He looks up at you and tilts his head and gibbers something in a sharp, curt language that doesn't sound familiar at all.
Uh, Art?
I'm gonna walk forward slowly and touch the horse.
As you approach, the little fella pulls out his knife and
He's the one that's killing the creature, guys. Come on,
and
think about it.
he bares his teeth and again speaks in a guttural, sharp tongue. As he's brandishing the knife, standing over the steed as if protecting it.
Hart moves
Protect.
forward, puts his other arms away,
So
and,
does
and
Valara.
takes out his medical arms.
The little guy moves a little closer to you, clearly making sure to look over his shoulder, make sure the steed is safe. But he's kind of hopping about to the left and right, trying to prevent any of you from getting near
Hart looks him right in the eye. Hart help fixing, and he uses his box that he's never used before that he got back from Valara a long time ago,
Uh huh.
and he wants to try to tune it to do her that whatever language that is.
Okay. So pulling the device up and spinning through the frequencies while it's talking, All you can hear is, "If you touch a hair on my lady, I will kill you."
Heart, help.
Why would I trust a machine like yourself? It's your fault we're here.
Heart, help fixing.
Why are you traveling with this monstrosity? They say. He says. The little guy says to you
Heart
guys.
is very good with medical care, uh, clerical type healing, but without the magic.
Did he modify you, synth?
Simp.
He
Uh,
just insulted you.
What's simp?
I see it.
Oh, okay, simp is something entirely different. It's synth.
Synth.
I think you're
No,
getting
no. I'm a real person.
Of course you are, synth.
okay.
Made to look like us. Made to look like our friends.
Do you want help for her ladyship or not?
Trust
Or you
him.
can watch her die.
I am Freya.
He casts an epithet in his voice when you starts to put his knife away. As you say Freya, he says, "If you say Fireheart, I'll cut your throat."
But she is.
Then don't say it.
Don't say anything. Damn it.
What's wrong with you,
Please,
Dean?
come on.
Anyway, he looks very unready. He says, "Well, don't let her get anywhere near it," and points at Freya.
Heart moves forward and does his healing. What is the thing on cure wounds? How many D8?
When you,
1d8 plus 2 for each level, I think, up to 4 dice or whatever. Because then it becomes cure.
But this is a magical creature, correct?
Yes. And he's
I don't know if
he's using basically technological magic because his healing is not
not clerical or
Right.
druidic.
I do all my clerical abilities. Think
Right.
of me as a forge cleric, but
Right.
not.
I'm just wondering if
Oh.
Lim could help seal the wound.
Don't do it.
Do you say that out loud? The young man says, "Yes, have you any? I will pay
Don't
you."
do
And
it.
he pulls out a chain of golden leaves.
Don't touch it.
I will buy it
Shut
from
up.
you. How many do you want? And he starts sliding the gold down the thread of the string. 10,
Look at it.
20.
Valara.
Oh, just take the whole line.
Honey.
Take the whole chain. It's over 1,000 here.
Freya.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, then why don't you? Where's the limb? Oh, it's Kelman has.
I
it.
don't
Kelman has
have
the.
them.
I
Kelman has
have
the-
it.
Art's going to cast Spare the Dying first.
Okay.
It should be stabilized.
It doesn't seem to be getting any worse anyway. It's breathing uniform. It becomes more uniform.
Regular.
Okay, then cure wounds. Let's see. I'm level 5. Does that mean I have level 2 spells? Yes.
Yes.
But not level 3 because that's 6,
That's correct.
right?
Now, 5th gets you your first 3rd level spell.
Does it for
Yep.
cleric?
It's
Yep.
true. It's true of both classes, clerics and mages. 5th is the kicker.
Okay.
Come on, you want 2? He says, "God, with blood out of return me." He reaches back into his backpack and pulls out instead a crown. He says, "Just take the crown."
Wait. Where did you find that?
Digging around.
Hand it to me.
It's not a crown, dude.
Oh.
Not a crown,
Oh, I
an
thought that's your
actual,
crown.
the kind
It
you wear
is
on your
actually
head.
a crown that you put around on your head.
Why would you say give it to me, dude? Ah, it's just whatever.
I think
Okay.
you just give him the limb.
But what are you talking
Because
about?
Lim is valuable to Kelman.
Yeah.
He's going, you don't realize this is a 40D mirror right here. I've got a 40D mirror right here in this jar.
Yep, I do.
A 40D mirror.
Instead of a 5d6 damage, it does 40d6, Gene. The bad joke about me making a spell do
It-
10 times its damage.
It
remember?
heals heals 12 points of
It would
Of damage?
completely
Good.
12 points.
it would completely heal the unicorn completely. I just don't know if I want to give up the limb.
Well, how about
How
just
much?
a bit?
Stop. How much do you need?
He turns and goes, 4 or 5 ounces probably would do it.
Hart will take out the little cask of the little quart of limb that he has.
Okay.
That's all he has.
He hands you, which he holds out both. Do you want the crown or do you want the ring of 1,000 gold pieces?
He just waves at his hand away, and then he goes back to treating the unicorn. And if he needs it, then he will use like one of his syringes or something to.
Yeah, he says no, 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 no. Here, he says he puts the string of golden leaves over the one of your armatures and says, "Please allow me to administer it."
Okay.
And
Toss
so
him the little cask of.
Wait,
right.
wait.
So as he
Wait.
takes the flask, he
Can she
goes.
talk?
What?
Can the unicorn talk?
We're healing it, dude. Just
Um,
stop.
Yeah.
You're jumping the scene all over the place.
Right. So he takes the flask, goes up to where the horse's head is, starts to sing, and opens the flask. And as he does, he waves his hand back and forth, and you see the gas, the liquid emanating as a gas spread over the horse and causes like this sparkling effect, a scintillating light effect, creating an iridescent coating over the whole animal. And when it gets to the wound, it actually looks like it's angry it likes to froth in the air above it. It's not actually contacting the horse's flesh, but just above it over the length of the wound. And over time, you can see that it's dissipating and becoming more healed. Eventually, he gets done. He closes the flask back up, shakes it, and says, "It only used about half of it. Here's your flask back. Keep the coin though."
Thank you.
I'm glad I could heal a creature, or at least know that it's a magical creature that can be healed by limb. That's good.
A unicorn.
Yes.
How marvelous. I never did.
Very rare to find.
what
He
were you
says
saying?
he says, "See you a unicorn? Is that all you see?"
But-
Freya, make a intelligence check.
Yes, sir. Anyway, wait. Oh boy.
So what was I given?
A ring of
A 1,000 gold pieces.
it's gold. It's forged
That was,
or what, formed. I should say formed gold leaves. Each one of them worth a gold piece. So it's 1,000 leaves all sewn together.
22. Unnatural 22.
Okay.
An unnatural 22.
An unnatural 22. It's definitely
Oh
an
my God.
unnatural.
I don't know what it's called.
You just say 22. If it was a natural 20, that's the only thing that makes a difference. But a 22, a modified 22, you see a black-haired woman in her 30s, long black hair, her ears indicating her Eldrin blood, but she doesn't appear to be full elf.
At least like dark
She looks
elves or
I take out the figurine and have a look at it, and then look at her again. Does it look like her?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I need my. Did I ever get her name? I feel like it was. I'm gonna look at the bottom of it, see if there's a name on it.
No, there isn't.
What is her name? And I ask the guy.
Are you asking the elf what her name is?
Oh no, you know what? I'll ask her. Hello, I am Freya. What is your name?
The horse snorts, tries to stand up, struggles a bit from the injury.
Freya. I believe that there's other kinds of elves on this world, and you're talking to the opposite, or
The horse,
elves that
the unicorn finally gets to his feet, and when you speak directly to the unicorn, the elvish fellow steps in front of her again. It says, "You will address her ladyship only when given permission. I am Puck, protector of her ladyship.
I look up. I look up to her. I look back to him. I'm sorry for being rude. I would like. I would like permission to have her ladyship's name.
She is uh, she is Titania,
The queen of the fairies?
and you would know this how, Synth? Did you take Eldrin blood along with others?
I think that was meta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be
Yes.
the one that Okay, so I forgot the fact
Wait,
that
wait, wait. It might be possible. We did go to Fairyland.
But did you ever meet anyone or heard anything about Titania?
yes, I
Yes,
was
she
there
actually
in the court.
she was in the presence of Titania. This is not this. She's looking at a unicorn though, and the little guy is referring to himself as Puck, and she met Puck, but she didn't remember that. So she's instead remembering the name off of the trigger of Titania. The name does ring a bell immediately.
Yeah,
But
yes,
remember, remember this is Valara who only met the queen once, and that was an age ago. So
yeah.
don't draw on too much knowledge about Titania. You see what I'm saying? You
Well, I would only remember she was a queen and Oberon was a king.
right.
That much I remember, and I remember being there, but I was blindfolded.
So the question that you're asking shouldn't be Titania, you're the queen, because it's not. It's a unicorn that you're looking at. So it should be more along the lines of Titania, like the queen. Is that the same name? You see what I'm saying? You're focusing it too tightly on what you don't know, but you could go with generally what you do know. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Okay. So yes, it is like the queen. But how do you know that, Synth?
because I was there in Elfland, in the court of Ober Ober
Very,
Oberon Oberon.
Yes. Anyway, when you say that, the Puck turns to look at the unicorn, and the unicorn moves her head in such a way to suggest possibly a nod, but it's more abrupt because that curt shake of a head like a horse will do.
O- Um, of course, I was blindfolded at the time because mortals are not supposed to
see.
see fairyland.
Well, you were given permission, but you didn't want to look.
Yeah, that's true. I was given permission but didn't want to look. 4 seconds.
You
Hmm.
wouldn't
And
even know what the queen looks like, honestly.
we
You
had
just
brought a case before them because of the hag.
okay. There's too much information now. Um,
Way to go, Freya. Freya goes, ah, okay, let's stop talking about this. Talk about something else. Okay.
You guys are both horrible. Absolutely deplorable, both of you.
anyways,
You weren't there.
It's just
I was here now.
Yeah, okay.
in the case of Freya, she does a she's young, and b Stephen doesn't know cultural decorum to be in the presence of royalty. So that is the cause for her forgiveness of Freya. Valara, she still distrusts, and Puck is right to challenge her on her synthetic nature. What's fascinating is the fact that they have not actually responded really in any way to either Hart nor Kelman, even though Hart is clearly not of their side of the realm, and Kelman probably has been in the presence of Titania 2 or 3 times in his life.
I want to learn about our race.
Settle down, dude. Seriously.
Dudette, milady.
No, I mean in
Yeah.
meta.
Oh yeah.
In meta, please settle down. You gotta. You want to get information, yes, but you gotta stop trying to jump the scene. You're gonna cause more problems, and make it harder for you to find the information out if you keep doing that.
Oh,
One of the things that'll help is to ask more questions. Ask more about what the scene is, what kind of an injury was it, what could have caused it, that kind of thing, because that way you get
Okay,
more contextual information from which you can make rational decisions about what to ask.
just a moment.
Wow, Kelvin's face just exploded. He must be playing World of Tanks at the same time.
Um, I have a question. It looked like a long slash.
Uh, a gash, more like something tried to grasp her by the haunch.
So maybe a claw.
Yeah.
It was a ragged cut.
Yes.
What did
The,
this?
then she gives Puck a, I don't know, a bow, kind of, but it's really kind of short. It's not deep, only because, and then to the lady, it looks like something attacked her, at least with claws.
You're sort of looking at her but speaking to him.
No, no,
Yes.
she looks at Titania,
No.
and
You
then
can't
she
see her.
bows.
You're seeing a
No.
Oh,
horse.
I look at the unicorn.
Right.
Okay, I can't see
No,
her.
I'm telling you no because
Freya's grabbing your arm because Freya just got in trouble for talking to the unicorn directly. She's
talk
trying to save you.
him.
Okay, Puck.
You may call me Lord Puck, Synth.
My name's Valara, a respectable name.
I don't doubt that as a respectable name. Unfortunately, your bloodline
What?
tells the truth, Synth.
Wait a moment, my bloodline?
Yes, you pulse with that emanation so clearly I can see you from here.
Ah.
I know not what you talk about.
Oh,
She is
he
human
turns
of
to you and goes,
Nycos.
respectfully, Sir Arms a Lot. You might want to consider switching your receptors to check out her life signs now.
Ooh.
Is that Puck saying this?
Yes.
Hard will, but I'll make no note mention that he is.
Of course. She does detect as living, which is different from what she did before, but she is not detecting as the others in the place as life. You do just for the first time see a nuanced difference.
Not speaking this out
Okay,
loud in
clarify, please.
Okay, she seems to be made up of a bunch of different living things.
nanites.
A bunch of living things.
Lots of nanites. Not doing this in character.
Right. That's
She's
called
a
meta.
nanite.
Just saying
She's
meta. She's
full of
you're
mechanisms.
because her biological organism is being transited, and it's the upgrade of the nanites, if you will, is making her alive, and it will eventually
the nanites are
they'll
keeping
serve their
her alive.
purpose, and then she'll be herself. But it's just been the process.
The nanites are
Okay.
using her as a dish.
All right, it's the fact that she's got the hand.
Yeah, the hand.
Cool.
So literally, she's a biome in as a life support for the hand, and the hand is the only part that registers as alive.
A hand is alive and I'm not?
No,
You
you're
don't
not
know that.
registering as. You are, but you're not registering as.
There's so many it's like too many life
She's,
forms.
she's going to let it pass.
Neither of
Okay,
you
because
know
she-
this. It is me that's finding it out.
Yeah, yeah. She lets it pass because apparently he's going to stick to saying what he's saying. She can't quite understand why he's
You're getting
saying
used
it.
to you're getting used to that. You've done this before, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And she said, um, it looks like something attacked her.
Yes, you could say
And
that.
Okay,
Uh,
so
some sort of clawed creature because the wound was quite ragged.
in meta, so my interaction didn't happen.
Oh,
What do
sorry.
you mean your interaction didn't happen?
It's just been happening a lot today. It's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
Okay, I answered your question. As
No,
Puck.
I mean I was talking to Puck,
Right.
and when I got the answer and I asked for clarification on that answer in meta, then my whole thing was ignored, and other people are jumping over.
Okay,
it.
I didn't feel
Not
like
you, not you. I'm just saying that
I'm sorry.
every time I try to start a roleplay thing that I'm involved in, I get jumped over and my side is brushed aside.
Yes. I'm not trying to brush anything aside. So
It's fine.
where did I leave off? Where did I fail in this?
No, it's fine.
Where were we? I don't want to take it away from you. What you asked the question,
He wanted clarification from Puck.
No, I was just talking to Puck,
right? And then you
and then
said you wanted to do the detection without changing up, and so I gave you the answer to the detection. I didn't
right,
I didn't hear the continuation of the conversation with Puck from you. That's
because
what
the conversation with Puck had nothing to do with the detection.
okay.
That was something that he responded to me because I was saying that she was a human of Nycos, and I was not going to mention that she was an other or anything of this
Right.
case
Right. No, I get
because
that.
that's what I thought he was talking about. Therefore,
Right. No, he
it's
wasn't.
fine. It doesn't matter.
He wasn't. He's dealing with the conflict from the perspective of where they are coming from, where they were just having a conflict. And if you think about where a synth would be, it wasn't something not of Nycos. That's all I'm trying to get across.
Well, I don't. I have no idea.
Yes. So, what can where were we in the
No,
conversation?
there's.
Where did
You
we?
didn't do anything. It's not you, John. It's the other players need to respect when other people are role playing. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. I'm trying to figure out where in the role play we were so that we don't do that. That's what I'm trying
I
to.
don't remember
Okay.
Okay.
because my brain loses it.
Sure, I'll come back.
Okay.
So please respect each other when you're role playing and stop jumping the scene and stop stealing thunder and stop it. Just stop.
Okay.
Hmm.
The with this last bit of information and an awareness that everyone in the room is familiar with her, uh, I guess you'd call her true form. The unicorn will shift into the female form, female elven form. The wound has been healed for the most part. You still see that she's got a tear in her dress, which suggests that the wound occurred while she was in Eldrin form, and that the change to the unicorn probably is the only thing that would have saved her life was going to a form that had a higher life form basis and also transferred the loss to magic instead of to life essence. She looks very pale. She swoons a bit and leans back against the ground because she was seated before, so she kind of falls back to the ground. As she does so, she says, "So, old man, I haven't seen you in close to 1,000 years. How goes the battle, Kelman?"
Uh, Unfortunately, I can't answer that. I don't know. Um, it's been a long time.
Indeed,
Um,
indeed. This is a far cry from the palaces of Arios. Wouldn't you agree?
yes, definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
So glad to see you among us. It's a good sign for the world that the old voices are finally being able to be heard again.
Yeah, well, some of the old voices would argue that point because we've done a lot of things that we shouldn't have done, and some things that we should keep doing, and
True,
we haven't
true,
learned our lesson yet.
true. Have you had a chance to talk to Velarum or Klondike in any time recently?
Uh,
No, I have not,
Uh,
and I wish to rejoin them in some way, shape, or form in the near future, but don't see how I can get there.
well, if it
Um,
take heart because I have actually heard from Klondike that there might be a return of the dogs of war, or at least their progenitor at some point in the future.
uh,
But I don't want to distract from the time at hand.
we are
These
sorry. We are sorry about your uh, wounds. Is there anything we can do to
yes,
avenge this
my
type of action that's been taken against you?
my very purpose from coming back here was to see what I could do to reinvigorate and re uh, awaken the 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 realms of the Fae that have been taken from Nycos.
I honor that request if we can try and do something like that.
Well, as you know, after an age long ago when the war was failed, uh, the Nycosian realms of the Fae were locked away, and only the elders were allowed within. Uh, Something happened recently, and I don't know what it was, but the old gates have been locked and our cages were opened.
That was my wish.
R with
I wish.
Are you saying that out loud?
They
Yeah.
are. They are. They
Okay.
did. They all three did. It wasn't just one. All three of them. She actually struggles to get back to her feet, and of course Puck is trying to attend her, and she shoves him away slightly and goes into a deep curtsy, which of course is really a bad move when you have a thigh wound. So she immediately falls back to the ground. She says, "I do honor you for the release from my imprisonment, and I will do what I can." As she struggles to sit back up,
May
uh,
I help you, you
uh,
lady?
please, please, I will resolve that. I, I, I see that your transition is nearly complete, and I apologize for the impetuousness of Puck. He does tend to talk out of turn, and she stares at him, and he kind of glowers. By the way, in the duration of the time it takes for you to be observing her heart, the issue of regulation has completed as the renewal process has completed. Um, Biologically, Valar all of a sudden feels the real urge to have to go back and use those facilities from the other room.
Oh,
Good thing,
I
good thing Kelman showed you where they were.
I think it's been
oh,
aired.
wait a moment. Okay. She said, "Will you excuse me, please?
Sure, it's just, yeah,
I need a bio break."
yeah, exactly.
That's what she says. I need a bio break.
Nice. So
And she heads back there.
Valara scampers back to the.
She can't understand why, but she hurries back,
Yeah,
puts some speed on it.
exactly. Takes care of business and comes back. Yeah. So the issue is that the renewal process that the nanites were going through were preparing you to be biologically normal here. That process was to overwrite the bad stuff that the hand had overridden, and then to dismantle the non-essential parts of the auto robotic controls of the hand. Not that any of that matters to you, but giving you the meta of it, so that when people see you now, they'll see you as normal.
Oh, that's
There's
nice.
not going to be any longer any signature of the other that you were, including the hand won't even register.
That's very
It
reassuring.
just took 2 or 3 steps to get there because you were so entrenched in the otherness.
Yeah. Well, she knew she didn't like not having
The irony here too is that your ears do now have a point to them.
my ears.
Yes,
Galvin.
this picture of you is more accurate than it was 10 minutes ago, as your figure's ears are slightly more pointed, suggesting possibly there is uh, the fact that they called you your highness or whatever. Your
Yeah. Well, that's still kind of like just she doesn't understand it,
right.
and therefore she ignored it because it doesn't fit her. I mean, that's not her.
It
She's
didn't.
no
It
highness.
Yes. There's a whole lot of things that didn't fit you before that all of a sudden do. That's the point.
Oh, okay. Um, but then again, still her, and she's practical and
Yeah. Yeah. I
steady-minded.
got. You're still you. I'm not taking away from who you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, while she's gone, the only other thing that the queen will do is tell you that she is herself without a home. That the Eldrin nation as the Fey Eldrin nation has lost its direct connection with home, and therefore we are in the process of trying to find our way to a place known as Candle Scratch. If you guys could help us with that.
That is where we're going. We
Oh.
searched for the Sylphe.
Oh, excellent! And when you say Sylphe, Puck brings his sword to his face, perpendicular, and does a salute to you. Puts the blade away. He says, "I am a knight of the Sylphe."
Hart bows back.
Well met, Sir Knight of the
Oh, no,
Silver.
no, no. Please. I'm just Puck. Trust
Well
me.
met, Puck.
Trust me.
Asking what?
Trust
Puck,
me. I need
you-
nothing.
We do have a flying chip we're using to reach there, if that might help you in your quest.
Puck, you are such a good man.
Why?
Trap.
A good being?
Jeez.
Dave's over here going, oh.
Anyway.
I mean, no,
What?
I'm not going
What?
there.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come on.
I'm
You,
not
you-
going-
go there. Go there.
Puck you?
It's what he's saying. Puck, you are such a nice young man. Yes, he did. He said,
Fuck you. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Puck
No, just watch the enunciation. We'll get it straightened
Let-
out.
Fuck you. Okay. Uh, so now something attacked you. So, Your Highness. So should we take you with us and guard
Well,
you
okay,
as
so-
best we can,
so
or
the-
should we find a safe path for you to go so you can reach there in safety?
Well,
You should come with us. We have a ship and a
Yeah.
crew.
yeah, well, it's already been advised that you have a vessel traveling. Although I don't know exactly where we are, because where I was at the site of the Great Incursion.
Sorry, milady, but a wise man once said, wherever you are, there you are.
No matter where you go, there you are. Nice
There you go.
attempt. Nice attempt. No matter where you are, there you go.
That's why you have to leave it for the old men to recite that stuff.
It's right. Old
Um,
veterans of 1,000 psychic wars. But
You're at the ruins of
Vafthrender.
Vafthrender, yes, but I was at Vafthrender at its fall.
We've opened
Well,
many
that's
doors
all.
today.
Yes, many doors.
Yes.
that's where we found Kelman. Was behind one of the doors.
And Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And who else did you find? There was also.
The
No,
that
that's
guardian.
it. We only found Louis. Shut up, Gene.
We didn't find anything else. What are you talking about?
We're gonna have to transport that stuff out of here.
What?
So you have a flying ship. I used to have a flying ship many
It's a
many
really
moons
nice
ago.
ship. The first one is kind of small, but this next one is much nicer.
I used. Is it still controlled the same way, or is this a different one?
It's a different ship.
Well,
How do
he
you-
wouldn't know because he hasn't seen it yet to see what it's like when he had, is what he's referring to.
Yes.
That's what he's wanting to know, is what the technology's changed over time.
When
We haven't known
get
until
up
you get there, so we'll get to that when we get to the ship, per se. Puck says, "Milady, if you would allow me, I would recommend that I do some advanced scouting. When should I arrive next?" And she says, she turns to you guys and says, "By chance, do you know what the date is by common reckoning?"
128 8I.
Very good, very good. That will help greatly. She turns to him and says, 128 8I plus 5, and
Well, Hart will rattle off the
the
day,
start.
month, year,
Yeah, right.
because I'm sure he has a thing that keeps track of that, even though he doesn't know it.
Right, exactly. So as he does so, then she refers to Puck and basically gives him the same information plus 60, and he nods. And as he walks away, the leaves around him, the leaves on the ground, swirl and surround him with a little cloud of leaves, and then they just fall to the ground, and he's
And
no
he's
longer
gone.
there. Right.
Oh, I never got to ask my question. Oh well.
He's still there.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, but
She's still
when
there.
Puck
he's
is
gone,
gone.
when he's gone, she says, "You may now speak freely. You have shown your friendship and kindness to the crown." So, what was your question, Freya?
Why did he get so offended with my last name?
The Firehearts were one of the families that betrayed us.
I'm sorry.
Might have
It's
been might have been one of your ancestors. Who knows?
it was one of our. We know. We've already
I
seen
mean,
pictures.
no. I mean, one of her relatives personally.
Hmm.
You never know.
Actually, she was trapped in a magic bottle for 1,000 years.
Was not trapped in the magic bottle for 1,000 years.
No, you weren't.
Different character.
No, different character. Okay.
You guys are terrible.
That's not helpful. Calling them terrible isn't helpful.
Um, I want to learn more about my.
Okay, well, I agree with you. You need to learn more. Uh, proper etiquette, proper posture, proper
Freya,
dress.
Freya, remember what your vision told you. It's time to let the past be the past so that you won't be affected by their curse.
I feel like I heard a saying that you don't always have to listen to every deity.
That's true.
Okay.
But
I just wanted to-
then again, not every idea that you have because it's original is good.
That's fair. I wasn't saying I was.
Also, a vision that you get when you die for the third time, you should probably listen to it before there's a fourth time.
All right.
Yeah. Freya has died
Fine,
a
I'll
lot.
give up on it.
Well, no, that's not okay.
Go ahead.
Stephen, Freya, you need to refer to the party and talk about the vision more because I don't think you've thought through what the connotations of it are, and B, I don't think they know what the full depth of what you saw means. So it's a combination between the two. So don't withdraw because you think that somebody's pushing back. Because I can tell you, every person in this room, including Kelman, has learned to have to push back at time from time to time about things that happen, but also to learn from those changes. So
Uh-huh. Okay.
anyway, so we're leaving by airship.
Yes. Now, my lady, I know Puck guarded you carefully, but your leg uh, doesn't isn't going to afford you a lot of ability to climb up a rope, but I can carry you
She
up.
looks at you kind of funny. She says, "What are you talking about?"
Hart will put down his blue box and open the door, revealing the room inside. If you want to take a seat, we can transport you this way.
No, I just needed to be able to catch my breath and make sure I wasn't being attacked for a time.
Ah,
With the passage of time itself, my wounds will heal. I'm not really concerned with those any longer, as so long as we're safe from the incursion itself. Since you assure me we are in the 8th, we are safe from the incursion that occurred in the 6th.
Okay.
Yep.
Shall we take you? Would you like to come with us onto the boat? Sure. Thank you.
Lead on.
We do still have things to discover here as well.
Yes. You
Oh.
only followed the path as far as the magic material. This is not the only room in this wing of the place. Matter of fact, this is the first room only in the wing of this place.
I feel like we should be courteous and take the queen back to the ship and then head back in and have a look.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
So you
Hey,
can
Paula.
guide her back, but in truth, she'd be okay traveling with you because all she needs is time to be able to heal enough to be able to lift herself by magic. So
Hmm.
Valara will give her her room because she actually has a real bed, but
We
she will give.
all have real beds. Well, minus.
I
There's
know, but Valara gives up her bed
Very,
Okay.
for.
well,
very.
there's a better room for her.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
You have a knight's room. She gets a ladies' room.
Anyway, um, we're not going to that point anyway. So we're heading
What?
further.
There was nothing offensive about what I said.
It don't need to. It didn't need to be a matter of better versus worse or nights or I
No,
get
I'm
what.
just saying. I'm saying that we can say there's a better room on the boat.
Right. That's different. Right. That yes. It's simple. It's simple to say we made accommodations for her that are better than any of us are sleeping in. That's not the same thing as
I was
saying
only making a point that she probably chose a knight's room, like a warrior's room, that's close to the
I
uh.
chose the biggest room I could to have some space, but not that there's ever that much space. But at
it's
least
fine.
I
It's
had it.
it doesn't it yeah. It again we're all speaking to the same purpose and cross purposes. That's okay. No big deal.
All right.
Is Kelman still with us? And he just switched off his camera.
I don't know.
Pushed off my camera.
Okay, just making sure. That's fine. Join the rest of the
Yeah.
cadre. That's cool. Alrighty. So uh, continuing down the hallway further, you go past the Hall of Mortals to a room that has similar material structure, only showing what must be the culture of the dwarf. And it shows the roots of the dwarvish nations was a band of 7 tribes, each of them named after a type of metal. So there's the Iron Kingdoms, and there are the Brass Kingdoms, and so on. And these the 7 brethren were united in the protection of Nycos, working in particular against the forces of the Everdark, who constantly were trying to break out and take over the Undersky.
Okay.
Something happened, however, and in a short period of time, the equivalent of the, the destruction of the Teutonic Order happens, and 5 of the brothers were murdered in less than 6 months. To the fact there were only 2 brothers left, and each one of them accused the other of being the assassin. Grund, the elder of the two, was trying to be friendly with the surface dwellers. Grim believed that it was members of the Oversky that had killed the brethren, whereas Grund thought it was somebody from the Everdark, and so they became literally night and day comparisons to one another, taking on the roles and imagery and facades of their appropriate kingdoms. So Grund ends up being a great architect and creator of structures that stand stark underneath the brilliance of Nimbus, whereas the master of tunneling caves and such was Grim, who receded back into the mountains.
Okay.
Uh, the demonstration of the different types of arms and armament are here, and there is a full-size version of one of the transports, one of the conveys. So it's similar to the V8, except it's open topped and has 2 rows of seating facing out from a central column. A panel, and the central panel had magic mouths cast on it with commands and orders to the riders. So they were constantly being guided and instructed in what would protect them as the grim overlords became the protectors of the human race at the end of the sixth.
So is this like a copy of it, like a of the
It's a replica. Yep. Full
Wait a
size.
moment. You said they became protectors, but didn't they kind of enslave them?
Not
In the
according to
meta?
the literature you see here. Not according to the poster, the signage that's here. And
Okay.
you could possibly ask Kelman. He might know a little bit more about it, and certainly you could ask the Queen.
Okay. That's not my. Kelman, you've been around for a while. It's not my understanding of the Grimm that they were beneficial protectors of humans.
They were in the beginning, but even like the Eldar, they see the humans way back when were very primitive. They didn't. It had to be harnessed. They had to be basically taught civil and obedience and all that in the beginning.
Wait,
Um,
I
did you
don't
say
like.
tots to be obedient?
well, yeah, in a sense, they were more. They didn't. They don't.
The humans at the end of the fifth iteration were to blame for the destruction of the world.
Right. They were warlike. They were not civil to very many people. Or races
And so the
or
races decided collectively they needed to be kept from the world, even as they knew that humans needed to be saved from the world, that there was a danger that was coming for humanity. So they protected them by bringing them under their wing. The problem with that is you take a human population that grows really fast and put it under the control of a race like the dwarves that grows really slow.
slow,
They
and they
could
get
only
outnumbered. It's
they
kind of like
they could only
rat.
control them by enslaving them. Only way to keep them from hurting themselves was to,
There was a lot of enslavement, and that's why there's a lot of bitterness between the races.
and particularly between the Grimm and the surface dwellers of all kinds.
Well, using their souls as power sources and eternal slaves doesn't help either.
That that the Queen is going to be quick to say that was a late addition. That was not their origin. The origin was actually the captured limb that was put into position, and it was only a corruption of the prism after the fifth iteration that made the prism be able to convert souls to the job.
Well, the past is in the past, but
Yes.
current use means a whole lot more. So rather they initially meant it beneficently or not, it doesn't change the fact that they still currently use human souls as power sources.
Yes, and the Queen says you're exactly right, and that's why the incursion in the sixth was so devastating because that didn't happen until the incursion.
Okay?
But what was the incursion?
Warriors from the Revening went backwards into the sixth iteration to propagate backwards the very crimes that had been committed in the previous iterations. They knew the truth and went back to try to propagate the truth into the future.
Who did this?
We haven't yet put a finger on who the insurgents were, but it was somebody from a previous iteration working through the seventh to try to push the boundaries of the pact both farther back and into the present.
Seventh did a lot of bad things.
Kind of like a drop in the water. It goes in all directions.
Right. Well,
I
and
think
it wasn't seventh itself. It was somebody in the seventh who wanted the fifth to return. Think of it as the way in the meta how Adolf Hitler took imagery from the previous glorious reigns of Frederick II or whatever and tried to make Germany great again, so to speak, in that older,
In
more.
the meta, it feels like seventh iteration was the players and everything conspiring to get back at you for sixth.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
Anyways, so how much? What? Continuing on the path, I suppose.
Yeah.
But just two more, which is the you get to see the history of the peck and how the halflings basically were originally non-central, non-focused. They were revered, if you will, by most of the other races as having been the race of the emissary, the person who was credited with discovering Nycos for bringing civility to the races, but he gets lost in time, and instead, just the halflings end up with this peaceful world where nobody messes with them. They're like the Switzerland. Nobody actually ever invades lands held by the halfling. No one ever purges lands held by the halfling, that kind of thing.
Except
But,
for Angus.
well, the that's a completely different story. But when you get to more recent places, the Havelings seem to have split themselves in half. Uh, some of them take on the attitude of Burgle Cut or whatever, where we are just as valuable as everybody else, and we demand to be heard and such. And they become known as the Midge, whereas the rest are just like, leave us alone, let us live
Well,
in the
that's what
wilderness.
happens when you split a halfling into half. It becomes a quarter, right?
Nice, nice. But the ones who didn't want to be involved with that are pushed to the side and treated like dirt, and they're known as the peck. And so the peck and the midge are the two differentiating species, if you will, of halfling that endure to this day.
Oh, okay.
And basically, you see that Vefthrinder was fundamentally supposed to be a place of negotiation. It's actually historically, from the imagery here, more than likely the place where the pact was originally signed.
Hmm.
Huh. This is so much that she doesn't know, So I'm,
Well, you know it
Valara
now.
is avidly,
Right.
taking it in.
So by the time that's completed, it's a couple. It's nearing full darkness, and so you'll return to the ship. And by the time you get there, the queen's had enough of a rest that she's able to concentrate. And as she concentrates, beautiful butterfly wings form on her back. And at first they're beautiful black and white, but as she opens them to fly, you see the shape of the death skull on her wings as she flies to the airship. She lands and folds them as quickly as she can and waits for the rest of you to arrive on board ship.
Of course, that has absolutely no meaning to us, except I
Yes,
find
it
it a
does.
little
Oh, it
bit.
means a lot to Freya.
It means a
Yeah,
lot
well,
to all of us.
Yeah, you guys have seen these before. This is the first one of them you've actually
We've
met.
seen the corrupted ones following our ship from the darkness or whatever.
Right. Yeah, you've seen them, Gene.
okay, yes, and so it kind of is unnerving to see that she has the same
But
marking.
that means that why does she have day and elf wings if she's a fae queen?
Is she totally fey?
Because she's purebred, probably. She's
Okay,
closer to the source.
No, she.
I
You can have this
got
conversation. You can have that conversation when you're on board and or talking to each other when she's not there. So
Well, we're basically down below the ship.
right,
We're not on the ship yet,
right.
so might as well.
Might as well.
What I mean is, if she is queen of the fae, then she is fae, and if she is has those wings, then she's a corrupted day and elf.
it means that as the queen, Oberon chose her as a queen, but it might have
No,
not been.
no,
No,
you're slightly missing his point. I think, or at least it feels like it to me. So
well, I was just trying to counter it with the fact that Oberon might have chosen a something other than a pure fae as his queen.
Except that you didn't see her wings when you were in the world of the Fae. This is the first time you've seen the wings.
Yeah, well, I didn't see her at all, and I
That's
wouldn't
why.
take off.
That's why it should affect you more, Gene, than rather than less, because you did remember. Oh, that's right. You had the mask, so you never did see her.
No, I never did see her. Okay,
Freya should be the one who should be freaking out then, because Freya did see her as the queen, and now sees
Yeah.
her with the wings that represent her own doomed people. So Freya should be as concerned, if not more so, than Hart.
kind of just I would figure butterfly wings for her and bright colors, not that.
That is the last of our worries.
What's the matter?
That has almost nothing to do with it.
Oh,
Well, the color, but that's
just no the symbol, the
she's just
symbology
yeah.
of that.
Freya?
Freya.
What? Yes. Mirror.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. Or do or anything.
Kelman, are you up to climbing a rope, or is the ship
Oh, wait,
down?
are you asking us how to get up or something?
No, Freya. The question.
Yeah, that's totally what we're talking about.
Listen. Listen. We are talking about the queen of the world of the Fae, which you met one time, was not of a Daean descendancy.
He didn't even hear the part about the wings.
Oh, he didn't.
No, I don't think he was paying attention.
I did hear the part. I'm trying to process it, and then like
Okay.
everybody's seeing things.
But we're talking to you. Never mind.
So at least let us know that you're processing, because that way they know that you're aware of it. It seemed like to us, since we can't see, this is one of the challenges of the online environment, is you got to be able to convey what you're feeling at the same time. If you're worried about it, you need to. He's obviously
Well,
showing.
I'm not. It's not that I'm worried about. It's more that I'm in mixed feelings in the sense that that I feel like it would help me better understand my people more and everything that's gone around them and the curse itself, as well as I don't want to see my people as evil and stuff like that. So that's why I don't want to be afraid of it. In a
No one's
sense.
seeing your people as evil.
Hmm.
Has anyone said that the Daeans were evil?
Well, they're marked as cursed and called the betrayers and things like that. So yeah, there's an evil connotation to them. He saw them in the valley and was told that their fall needed to happen, and that the best redemption is to, like you said, forget the past and move towards the future. So this pursuit of the past seems a little bit dangerous, and this person who claims to be the queen of the Fae, whom you have met, didn't have the wings of a Daean, but the Daean wings represent uh,
The corrupted.
deceit and betrayal. So you need to of all people, Freya, you should be really concerned with the presence of what could be a betrayer among you now.
Oh.
If you want to believe her, I can see that there should be some pushback, because you should be going, wait a minute, this is somebody that represents a potential source of knowledge, but just realize that it also is a sign of something that.
So let me say one thing. So just to remind and or clarify, it was prophesied that if Freya decides to look too deeply into the people and designates herself as a Daean again, she will join in their curse and die. That's what Vol specifically told her. The fact that she is spared by that is the fact that she is now an Inandran princess. So the fact of her changing that is what is protecting her from the fate of the Daean, according to what Vol told her.
Right.
So
And if she tries to bring her people back, then it will mean like some sort of horrible cataclysm or something. I don't remember the exact wording on how she said that one.
They're saying the curse will come back, if she tries to do that, then the curse will reoccur. Or
Right.
Yes. That it was fundamentally, it's that the pride of it was the curse of arrogance that caused the people of Dea to collapse. So if you take it upon yourself with hubris to be the person that is the agent of that change, you are falling into the same trap they did.
If you try to save the Daeans or whatever, then you're going to run
unless you
into it.
do something really strange and try and eliminate the curse before you bring him back.
And that's what she
Well, that's
that's
kind of in the dangerous in the same ballpark.
right. That was what for that. But that is exactly where Freya's mindset has been. Is that she wants to get enough information to know how to go back. Because she said she would like to go back and make the curse not happen.
I
But
don't
that
remember
is
that.
the fallacy of the seventh iteration. Also, to try to make something not happen.
Yeah, because apparently
Well,
somebody tried to go back to the sixth.
the more I think about it, let me say the way I see it right now.
Yes, please.
Like, I don't want to undo it, but more like, how we humans try to learn from their past mistakes, and then we try to grow,
Sure.
and like we should not blame like our generation for the wrongdoings of they did in the past versus something of the new generation, and paint the whole race of the new generation getting blamed for the old generation
Right.
when they had a
That
chance to move on and move forward and to become something new and beautiful.
but that's not what's going on. They're not being blamed for like some atrocity that they've committed and having some sort of stigma against them. They're literally cursed, and if you are a Daean, then that curse is going to find you. It's not about blame. It's not about they were assholes and we don't want to be associated with them. It's not like that. It's they're cursed to become horrifying monsters. Do you want to become a horrifying monster? Then no, then don't be a Daean. At least as far as I understand it.
But that seems wrong, doesn't it?
No, that seems like someone was trying to save your ass.
Remember, he says, don't look backwards, look forward. So
But
you
this is a whole race. This
wait a
is like
moment.
saying, let me finish what I said. This is like saying you're black or Mexican or literally, and like, and that race is at fault, so therefore don't be that race.
No, it's not have anything to do with fault.
Or with race, because you are an Anandran by just saying so. Remember, you were in the place of the Anandran, and they offered you adoption, so to speak, and you accepted. And boom, you're that. You're not. It's not like race where it's linked to your genetic code, and you have no choice to be that.
So it's more of a kingdom then, like a country.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
And it's not even that, it's the ideology of the kingdom that got itself into trouble. And what Vol was saying to you is yes, it's really attractive to try to find the lost and the ancient, but the lost and the ancient sometimes is not necessarily good. So
so
pursue
then
being the
it'd be
best
better
you.
to
So be the best
start
you you
anew.
can. To be the
Yeah,
best you
to
you can be, and in the process find out the truth.
stop digging up corpses and plant a few trees instead.
remember you had an offer from a fine young Dayan male that was not cursed.
We're probably not gonna ever see that guy again.
And then, well, also, either way, that's not the point of all of this. It was just that this is whole like big reveal thing, and it just was
Yeah,
not
your
heard.
people were messing around with some nasty stuff.
No, I'm talking about right now in our game.
Right.
Oh
Just
yeah,
In
now.
our game, we weren't interacting with what was actually going on because what was actually going on was the so-called Queen of the Elves that appeared before us grew Dayan cursed wings and flew up on the ship, which is totally not what was supposed to happen. She's not supposed to be Dayan. She's not supposed to have cursed wings. She's supposed to be a Fey creature, and for some reason she has Dayan cursed wings, which should be freaking you out. and I'm being freaked out for you because I'm trying to get you into the game.
Okay. Sorry, I misinterpreted everything. That was my fault.
Well, that's why we were trying to talk it through.
Right. Why we're still talking it through.
We're not trying to be. We're all playing a game together. We're not trying to fight each other. So we're not trying to shoot each other's ideas down. We're trying to work through to find the truth between them.
And that was kind of freaky. Of course, I never saw her, so I
Right.
couldn't
That's
tell
why it
you.
wasn't. Why it wouldn't be as freaky to you, but it should definitely be freaky to Freya, and Hart is like I said was reacting.
But she wasn't pleased with the fact that it had a death head skull on it.
Except
I
that you've
guess-
already seen those genes, so that should have also that shouldn't have been the problem. The problem should have been
Wait.
why
not
is it joining
pertinent.
us? Right.
The cosmetics of it are not pertinent.
Well, all I knew is there were creatures following us with
Yes.
wings like that.
And now one is aboard your ship.
No.
Maybe she's not what she appears to be.
No. Now we have to ask her who she is. Who she her if she feels if she is Dajin, like if she feels like she's the Dajin, or she's the cause of it, or she's the catalyst.
Don't make assumptions.
Well, wait. She addressed me as an old friend,
Yes.
so she must be who
The
she
original
says she.
one. She knows too much to not be the original one. So what I'm saying is don't make assumptions. Find out more information.
Right.
Yeah, that's yes.
I mean, she addressed me specifically,
By
asking
name.
second.
Exactly.
for.
1 second.
So how does Hart get back on the ship? Hart's going to
Um,
craft a pulley system that can lower a big, probably the cargo pulley or something.
Well, I
Yeah.
can see a double ratchet system.
Well, that's
'cause-
probably what they already have to load cargo into a flying ship.
right. And
I
so you
forgot
just,
how it.
I imagine that it's two block and tackle rigs off the top on the yardarm, and
right,
you actually
blowing a
attach
pallet.
two. Yep. Two. Well, and it's being two of them so that you can actually use the ratchet with your one hand as you lower and raise each arm. It brings you up the ship because you're actually using it to lift the extra weight of your legs as you're climbing. So.
No, they're,
Meta,
Go
John.
to Hart.
Yes, in the meta,
Yeah,
Kev.
elevator.
Meta,
they're
Dave.
Uh, iterations. I don't remember using pulleys. Wasn't it like a magical rope or some weird shit that was bringing us up and down those?
Magic was
ships.
gone.
All I
from the ship.
remember is that the battle llama had a feather fall cast on it, so that
That's
the
that's
halfling
it.
the halfling would yell "Ahiba" and leap off
Right.
the side of it
Yeah.
on his battle llama, and the battle llama would plummet for 30 feet and then drift down on a
Right.
feather fall after
I
that.
remember that.
Magic has
Did you know
gone
how?
from this world.
Okay, stop, everybody. Everyone's talking over each other. It needs to stop.
So I was just answering Kelman's meta question. There are differences in culture, and so you were asking whether this vessel was similar to yours. It actually feels more primitive because it's been a cultural backstep.
And
The-
stop doing that, Travis. It's annoying. All right.
The stepping
What
o-
is?
this-
What am I doing
You,
annoying?
you are an instigator when it comes to people. You feel like everyone's talking over one another, and you get in the fray of it, and you're like a father saying, "Shut up, everybody! Just
Yes.
lay low for a while, right? Just
No.
calm down, calm
Be-
down."
We're on a stream and we need to keep on point and not have
I-
three people talking over each other because there's no way for anybody to hear what's going on when that happens.
Just settle down.
It's part of the tact that needs to be learned when we're playing online.
Just settle down. You do it too
Okay.
much. You're gonna lose viewers if you keep doing shit like that.
We're gonna lose
Right.
because I'm doing that.
So- Yes, because you're doing that.
Okay.
Let's
Can we
continue.
agree to move on, please? And I understand that we'll try to be more tactful so that we don't have the problem.
So the ratchet system gets you on board. Freya, are you going to use magic or are you going to climb the rope? There's a rope ladder. That's the usual path you guys have been using. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna rope ladder climb up.
okay. So
And I will too.
everyone's aboard. Now anchors are weighed, and you guys are setting off in. Well, no, you'd be camping for the dark because it was dark. So no, you wouldn't leave yet. All right. So anyway, you're back aboard of the ship.
Yeah.
Uh, the queen is
Dinner.
walking around with an air of approval, nodding and speaking small talk to the crewmen as she was waiting for you guys to arrive. She turns back and looks pure joy as she sees you arriving. She's so glad this is such a nice vessel. I can feel its eldrin bones. You've done good work with it, given the loss of some of the power of the ages.
It also has hearts upgrades.
Hmm. Yes, those are very nice blades on the back. That's a nice innovation. Um, so obviously you guys don't travel at night because I noticed you don't have any stars.
They're long gone, I guess. They haven't. I haven't seen any.
Um, where did you get your wings?
Oh, excuse me.
One second.
Yep. Perfect timing. He's the one that's talking, and it's his phone that goes. Um, she looks a little abashed and a little bit embarrassed. You're referring to my mode of transport.
Um, I don't want to step on his because
I
it's his response.
No, yeah. Since he had to turn away, she turned to you guys, the rest of the crew, the rest of
I,
the team.
I guess it's more the nature of the wings themselves. I mean, I would imagine you with butterfly wings,
She
right?
she kind of chuckles and says, "And yes, and that's what we had, and yet we were cursed because of it. Hubris involved often does that. I apologize for any confusion I might have caused, but your crew, you see, wouldn't be able to deal with the reality of my role, and so therefore I had to take something that would be at least familiar to them.
Hello, sorry.
Well, those are only familiar as enemies from the past to them.
Can you
Hmm.
explain to me what happened after I left?
Nothing, we're just having a conversation.
Well, again, apologies. I'm not from now, and I'm not yet familiar. I only was using what I could pick up from their trace thoughts. And it dawns on you, she's reading minds.
Ah,
Whose thoughts?
telepathy. Well, at least thought reading.
Wait, no. Hive, in meta, hive mind, like thoughts?
What?
No, that would be between her own people. That's completely different thing.
Oh, okay.
And that's not, no, hive mind is not what you're making it out to be. No,
Oh, okay.
she's reading surface thoughts of people around her.
Oh, okay. Alright, I get it. Alright.
So I was only going with an image that was common in their thoughts. I apologize. I didn't mean to cause any untoward fears. I hope I didn't cause any long-term damage to our relationship because we're we're only beginning this mission together, this adventure together, and I couldn't afford to lose you as allies.
Only extreme confusion,
Mm.
because we've had enemies of the cursed Dayan remnants following us maliciously from the darkness that surrounds their old area.
But that would explain why it was top of mind for them all. I thought it would be inspiring, not terrorizing. So I do apologize for
Well,
misinterpreting the emotional state.
While also seeing as that you are a or are titled as a Queen of the Fae, and seeing you unfurl Dayan wings when we're in the midst of uncovering the nature of their curse and
Hmm.
the reasons to avoid it was rather
uh,
disconcerting.
yes, good word for it.
Well, she, in her much improved healthful state, she does a low curtsy and begs your forgiveness for causing any difficulty or misunderstanding.
It's just we need to straighten things out. You didn't need to, but thank you for explaining.
I'll do
What?
what I can. So, how does the conveyance work? You don't have any spell singers aboard.
That's what the blades are for.
Spellsinger?
Blades turned quickly and
Spellsinger.
propel us forward.
Yes, yes. This, as I said, it's clear that this vessel has Eldrin bones. I can fairly hear the hum of the hull, but I couldn't hear any directional, nor could I hear any elevational lyrics, and so I wasn't sure.
Well, they rudimentary can control the elevation, but they control the speed and pitch by the blades on the back.
Hmm. Like I said,
Met,
interesting innovation.
Meta John,
Sure,
is it possible for me to bring up the voices
sure,
and sing
sure,
just for her, giving her reminiscence of the old days?
sure.
I
Which
don't
you
know if it's going to have any effect on the ship, but
well, uh, got a set of dice there. Roll percentage for me.
Everyone was about to ask her if she could teach me some of that.
Well, it's gonna blow your mind, but Kelman's gonna start singing.
a 13.
Yeah, he does a pretty fair coverage of a melody, and as he does, you feel the ship's hull somewhat undulate, almost like it tries to lift in places but doesn't lift as fast in others. And the captain basically shouts down, "Belay that! Belay that! The vessel's not prepared. The vessel's not incapable." And you realize what
Well,
they've done is they've taken the wrecks of several Eldrin ships and sewn and strapped the pieces back together to make a workable hull.
I apologize, my
No,
lady.
you do no no. They
I
wouldn't
was
have.
just trying to bring back a little
No,
bit of.
she's smiling. She's
Okay.
smiling because she recognizes what it was you were trying to do, and she says, "Yeah, you remember. You remember when that's the way of it, don't you, Kelman? It's it. I do admire what they've done because I can't even see the seams. They've done a really good job of at least speaking the wood into unity. That's a good thing. But yes,
Well, uh, like I said, the old days. That's how we had to control the
hmm
ships, and
yep.
it's a whole different world.
Yes, if we could find ourselves an elven vessel, we would make much better time and arguably enjoy a few songs together. But that apparently is not the case, and so we will travel as we are. And she again turns to you guys and particularly to the captain and apologizes for the inadequacies of the design. That somehow she almost feels responsible for you guys not having the pieces. It's she's reflecting as if the loss in the sixth iteration was her fault.
I think you'll find that the speed of my ship is well adequate, if not more so.
Sure.
I will
I
take my leave
motioned
of
her.
you, lady, and I'm going down into the lower decks. I'm going to sleep.
Find a nice hammock.
Oh, well, do we have another stateroom?
Yeah,
I
we
don't.
do.
It's a big enough vessel. Whatever you guys determine to be the case.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, we have another room available. It's where our quarters are. I mean, we didn't take up all of that much room,
Okay.
being only three of us and now five of us.
Yep. So I was gonna motion her towards the seat
Sure.
if she would like.
Your chase.
Yeah, her,
It's my favorite seat.
Oh yeah. But as she plunks down and she says, "Do you wouldn't happen to have an ostrich fan, would you?"
I look for a stick.
She kind of laughs and she says, "No, no, no. I'm not going to go all Cleopatra on you." No, 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 no,
No,
knowing,
I'm still
knowing.
gonna try
She
to make
says
the fan out of the stick.
she says that term looking at Kelman, knowing his history, his
Oh,
vague memories of the past.
okay. Do I have any memory of that name?
Again, it's going to ring a bell as a queen sometime back in the past.
The name seems familiar, but
Yeah, she just hand waves. No deal. It's very nice chase, very nice chair.
Would you be able to teach me some the singing? That
It could be possible. You have an Eldrin voice. It would take some time, but we could start working on it. Sure.
thank you. I would like to understand
All right. So
magic.
there are no major encounters during the night. So it's the next day's travel. We are passing now into more Eldrin land, so the trees are taller. There has not been any thinning or any lumbering in this area, so the variations of the heights and the depths of the trees is such that you can't see the ground from above, just the the various tree trunks
Pizza.
and the over the canopy, if you will, of the trees.
Yeah,
Um,
at different heights, but just canopy. Okay.
mhm. Uh, Ahead of you in the valley, you can see what looks like snow covering the majority of the trees down below. And the captain recommends that you stay to the high points through that valley because those appear to be not snow banks or whatever, because that wouldn't make sense on top of trees, but instead possibly an excess of spider webs.
Eh, have the flamethrowers ready. Let's always burn the spires away.
Yes, and then you would burn the trees too. If we leave them alone and they're up here, I don't see how we can interact with them.
The more direct route would be to pass to the north, but you could circumvent to the south if you wanted to get a better look. So, which way
Are we
would you prefer?
leaving?
The next day, right?
Yeah. No, we still had the first room or the first wing of the whole place that we wanted to discover.
No, we had done several rooms yesterday, Travis, because after you dealt with her in the chapel, remember I described the wing of the human population, the dwarvish population, and the peck. Remember? So
Right,
you
but when we left to take her back to the ship, we said literally that you have only one part of the first section, and that we only discovered the sections that the magic had touched. We literally said that right before we took her back to the ship.
But uh, actually, it did happen after we took her to the ship that he described the pecks.
okay.
No.
For clarification, you said Freya said we should take her back to the ship. You guys then I did specify there were more things to discover. Then she said, I'm more than adequately healthy to travel with you, and that will give me enough rest so that I can return to the ship via magic.
Yes.
So, therefore, you stayed down below and did more search before you went up. So, there
Mhm.
is more of the facility you have already investigated. So, those three wings were investigated after the point where you thought you had talked about taking her back to the ship. So, I'm just clarifying that she was with you as you went through those separate wings. So there are three different things that you've done since then. So it's not as much left that's undiscovered, although there is a possibility of additional stuff you could go into. I'm just
It's fine. Just
which
just when we decided to go back to the ship, I was fairly certain that you said that we had only done part of it, but it doesn't matter to me.
Right, but
you
she's
guys
saying that we did that part.
Yeah, that's I understood that the rooms
after that.
came.
He's saying that we explored the rooms. Like she stood with us when we went to
Yeah.
explore. And then after we got done exploring, came back to the ship.
I understand that. I'm just going off of what was said.
Okay. A slight mix up, no big problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
We literally said that it was getting too late for us to keep going, and that we were going back to the ship to sleep.
yes.
So let's go. I'll get the map out.
No, okay, so just for clarification, as I said, yes, you did more investigation, but you could do more. So which is it? If you want to do more, we can do more.
I'm not the one that's investigating the place. I'm just reminding that someone else had interest in it, and so if
Right.
they don't want to go it, then I don't want to either.
Well,
This was
Freya,
this was originally Freya's expedition. So does Freya want?
Exactly.
Well, okay.
Are you more enamored of trying to learn the singing portion, or do you want to investigate the rest of this facility? Because you've only gone
What do
through
you What do you
three
say, Ring Bear?
exactly.
You
Forget the
you
past and go for the future.
Okay.
Good idea. I think that's a wonderful choice, Freya.
Well, I
That's
want.
fine.
All right.
Okay. Then
That's what
we're
she says.
heading towards the Wilderlands.
Okay. So again, are we going to pass around the spider lands on three sides, getting better view of it, or are we
Where
going to
this
pass the north of it and go more directly towards
Meta,
Candlescratch?
Okay.
do I remember any encounters with webbed creatures that can spit like webs at us or something? I can't remember the
Uh,
iteration.
good thing to point. Good thing to ask. Um, Probably best if you guys take a look at the map. It's in the Discord. While you're doing that,
Okay.
I'll pull up the one for me so I can take a look at it real
Discord,
quick.
Discord, Discord.
I have mine out.
Okay.
Discord. Where are you? Ah, there. And where in Discord is it?
It's under the
Oh,
pin, Gene.
This is the same
it's
map
under
you
the
downloaded
pin.
like 5 times.
Yeah, we always go back there.
Okay. Oh, much too small for me to get
No, that
details.
you should be
Click
able to
on it.
magnify it, Gene. It should have a magnifier slider at the top.
Huh.
No, she's just looking at the small version that you can look on in the
Okay,
thing.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Da, 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 da. There you go.
Oh, okay.
We were coming out of this mountain hex at
No,
this
we were down near the trail.
down the trail. Okay, so yeah,
On the inside,
that's
under the M of Quorum, I believe.
here.
Up.
Up.
By the woods.
Okay.
Right
Right
there.
about there.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
So we followed the line of mountains along the forest here, and I believe we were going to go down to see what was in the Wilderlands.
right.
Um, now we have a purpose to go elsewhere. I suppose that we can not do that side trip and go straight towards Candle Scratch.
Oh, that's very funny. My star moves. That's very funny. I forget that.
And where's Candle Scratch?
Down to the left.
Right there.
Ah, so way down in through the mountains. Okay.
Yep. I gotta figure out how to undo the marks on this stupid page.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll just leave it for now, and then when you close the page, it'll be gone.
Okay.
No matter where you mark, no matter which way you mark, it's
I
going
know
in there.
it'll go away, but I just meant from our standpoint. So I'll just move it as us. How's that? There you go. And so this is ish where we are. And so the hex of the spiders that I'm referring to is this one right in the middle.
Okay.
So you're either passing on this side, which is a more direct course, or that direction. That direction will give you more time to study the spider webs area. So
No
which-
thanks.
No,
Direct
we'll
course, I
just
think.
skirt it.
All right.
Yeah, we're.
So after,
If I remember correctly, you don't want to mess with the spiders.
I think whenever spiders are involved, you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah.
so
Unless
at the
it's to strike a
Unless you have
match.
to burn them.
So at the end of the day, you've traveled to this distance. Looking back into the Spiderin Vale, you'll see that the lighting after dark hours is purples and greens, as mysterious and ambient as the light behind me in in the image here. So just
Ah.
imagine that being both green and purple, passing through the underneath the tree branches, backlighting it with a ghostly, otherworldly feel.
Nah.
Looks a little creepy to me, she says.
Ahead of you, you see a mountain range, and at the tops of the mountains, each of the mountain tops looks jagged and sharp like teeth.
Hmm.
So this
Rem-
is known as the Razor Blade Mountain range.
Sure looks familiar, kind of like I've seen mountains like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Shatterhorn.
Yeah. very much like Shatterhorn. They're very jagged peaks up there.
Except a lot less icy.
Yes, a lot
A
less
lot
icy.
Uh,
less ice.
More,
You couldn't see the rock on the Shatterhorn. It was just
right.
all ice.
And you'll also find that this valley is ample with small game and such, so the crew is able to, in an afternoon of just local casual hunting, they're able to bring back a bounty of coney and oddly fat bird-like creatures. I say fat and bird-like because their legs seem to be planted in the ground, and when they actually pluck the birds, they don't have to chase them. The birds just kind of stand there, but they weigh in about like an American turkey. So they're big, round, fat birds with a
squid?
parrot-like parrot. Yes, they're squirts.
Wow.
Well,
Cool. We have turkey for dinner.
As soon as the first one comes back with one, though, the queen is like whispering to you guys, we don't want to partake of that. If whatever we do, you don't want to eat that. That's a delicacy that can be very dangerous.
What do you mean? Poisonous?
No, no, it's actually quite nutritional, but it also is. It also makes the mind highly susceptible.
Ah.
It's like an aphrodisiac.
It's a drug.
okay.
Well,
That's
it's a sociological inhibitor. It shuts down your differentiation between right and wrong, and also makes you susceptible
it
to
kind of
suggestion.
releases inhibitions that might otherwise be covered by
Captain,
Yes.
civilized behavior.
I'm gonna
Yes.
call the captain.
Yes. Yes. Freya, how can I help you, my lady?
Throw away those game.
The conies, the birds.
Yes.
The
Birds.
birds.
Ah, almost universally they go. Well, they were too easy picking anyway. We were. So anyway, they do. They go ahead and toss the birds. Don't even cook them.
There will be no use of Burple or Squirt on the ship.
The captain kind of scowls at them, not realizing he doesn't seem to be aware of the connection between the two. And he goes, "You know of Burple?"
Yes.
Ah, yeah. It is problematic among vessels, and so there is an outlaw against that. But I didn't realize that scourges were involved with that process at all.
I guess
They
the,
are.
the question is to the captain: is this vehicle? Can it get the heights over the mountains without hitting razor sharp
Well,
rocks?
sure, because we use black powder enhancements for getting elevation. Yeah, so we just burn the residue and it lifts us.
And what about the elevation of being like extra cold in the atmosphere?
Well, you're only going to be up there for a few hours. You're not going. You're not. We're not traveling at atmospheric levels. It's not. We have to have like a pressurized cabin.
Or oxygen per se?
Yeah. No. It'll get light. You'll be lightheaded for a while. But
All
I
right.
do have some winter gear for you, Kelvin.
I don't think this ship has the black powder boosters though.
no.
We have cross sails and
This.
because we specifically did this one because we didn't have to do it. Our last ship had the
Oh,
black
that's
powder.
true. That's true. That's true. So yeah. So you'd have the subroot sails, the ones that actually hang down below the decks.
Yeah,
So.
I'm
those
just
are-
wondering if we can. I'm just wondering if we can get the height so we can go over the mountains. But if we can't go over the mountains, we have to go around them. So
No, you can. You got the capability to
go
go
over.
over them. Go over the passes between them.
We
And
have
you
the
can see the
C2
mountain
from
range
the.
is not so sharply defined as you can't find a pass. So,
Probably for our lift, if we, it can go higher with like that we can do that no problem. But just as another thought, we also could use the sub sails to tilt us, and then use the extra extreme lift produced by the magical blades to push us higher.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Alrighty. So during the night, like I said, the rabbits they're so plentiful that you have no problem. It's a veritable feast of rabbit stew and rabbit meat and all of that. Captain even feels a little confident, so he breaks out some extra of the tack rations. So there's some breads to go with it. Makes for a decent, like a dumpling kind of a soup. And the morning breaks, I wouldn't say the morning breaks early, but no, I don't want to say that on Nycos because it doesn't break any earlier than it did yesterday. So,
Yeah.
um, but the valley is pretty cold. It's probably down in the 50s as you get up and around, seeing your breath in the air around you.
Oh, that's
Well,
so
that's
nice.
okay.
It reminds me of the moot.
Yeah, the briskness. Oh, and the fact that you can see the snow up on the peaks and stuff also makes you kind of pine for home.
Mm.
Which is
I
really
miss the
funny because you were so not from there before, but once you go there, it's like, oh, that's what I remember.
I miss my bear hugs.
Hmm. And so heading out in the morning, passing through the mountain pass, then you'll behold a sight that hasn't been seen in a long time. The forestation here is dense and jungle-like. The air is full of sound, but the plant life itself is so multivaried and multicolored that it seems at first to only be like a tawny brown. But as you get closer and you can see, it's just so rich with color that it's almost frightening how many different shades and colors that you see within the different plant life.
In the jungle and colors. Oof. That must be poisonous.
Laura spends a lot of time standing at the rail
Hmm.
and it's watching the land.
Okay, give me a second. I'll pull up some pictures to show you of what it actually looks like. It's really kind of cool. Let's see if I can find my folder.
Hey man, if you can, I would probably if it's really that beautiful, I might ask the captain to go land down so I can get some of the plants.
Okay, I'll come back to share in just a second when I find it. Just give me 2 seconds here.
We're back.
Just for
There we
a
Remember,
are.
there you are.
remember, Freya, that look doesn't mean touch, especially if it's poison. We don't want to hit number 4.
Especially if you haven't washed your hands yet.
Nice, nice.
Okay,
Call back.
now, if you can socially distance yourself from the plants, it might be okay. And wear a face mask.
Yeah, because
I would use mage hand. What do you mean?
they might spit spores at you. You don't want to be infected with spores.
I'm not saying we can. I'm just saying if we do, be careful.
Yeah. I trust your sensors, Heart.
Well, that would be a first. I appreciate it though.
That was cute.
Senses from a machine. Okay, that works. Sensors from a machine.
But he isn't. Valara says he is not anything like you've ever experienced before. He is not. He is
Yeah.
heart.
Hearty heart.
I don't know. It's not important how or or why. It just is. Heart is different.
Well, it's like the character Peace in Wizards.
Yep. I can't find them for the life of me. I've got them here someplace. Oh, I know where Never mind. They're actually all uploaded onto Facebook, so I'll have to use this Facebook image for you guys later. In the meantime,
We'll add it into the Discord so everyone on watching can see.
yeah, I'll pull them all in there for us later. So
Okay.
Just
anyway,
remember
yeah,
to follow us on Patreon to get more access to our.
there you
Discord
go,
channel.
there you go. Yeah, well, make access to those folders for that exactly. The trick is that the plant life and the animal life in this valley has been blurred, the line between them. So, for example, you'll see what looks like a tiny furry rabbit on a stump, and you'll watch like a fox-like creature with feathers for fur slowly moving forward, cawing like a crow. And as the fox closes in, the stump opens up and tentacles grab the fox and jam it into the stump of the tree.
I think we
Yeah,
should
figures.
not touch the plants.
Yep, I guess so.
After two or three of these different ones, the one thing that will happen is that the ship will find itself um, covered with little tiny insects that look like leaves, like folded up leaves.
Oh,
They'll land on the on the like the uh, rails, and you go to look at them, and they look like the thorn on a thorn bush is growing right there on the side of the.
Have you guys seen What Dreams May Come?
Uh-huh.
uh,
Yes.
So when he first goes to the other place, and it's all a painting that his wife painted, and it's all swirls of color and everything, and if he actually touches it, it smears into paint. When he said that all the colors are blurring, that's exactly what I pictured in my head.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. This looks like every form of beautiful and terrible magic has blurred together to where you cannot tell where the awesome and the awful cross the lines between each other.
So is it kind of like a similar thing, or not as extreme as what was going on in the marshes up to the north by Tralara?
Oh, it's okay. So the stuff near Tralara, it was dark and malevolent. This is more like unbridled chaos. There's no goodness or evil here. It's just survival. And so creatures that you expect to be innocuous and sweet are poisonous, or things that are monstrous and horrible looking are peaceful.
It's
It's
the
just
evil side of Greenvale.
yeah, it's unmitigated. Yeah, this is where Green Veil and Yellow Veil crashed.
Okay.
We found it, guys. We found the evil side of Greenvale. They all have good and bad in them.
It just seems like total
Sounds
chaos.
like humans.
It's everything that you think that you know is totally backwards.
Or at least sideways. It's enough to be mentally bending, but not necessarily breaking. It doesn't. It's not like, well, okay, there's all bets are off. We can't ever survive or anything like that. It's simply when you take something to the extreme, it folds back on itself. It doesn't actually annihilate itself. It's like even White Veil might have good side. Oh wait, it does. We've already proven that the dark can have a light side as well. So
Not is
not at
important.
all. Exactly. Um, what's kind of stunning is that in the middle of this, you see a white marble building with a large circular dome-like structure in the center, and a red, white, and blue flag flying off of it.
oh god.
Any
Um,
particular configuration of red, white, and blue?
Yeah, it looks like if you count them in the rows, there are 50 stars and 13 stripes.
Hmm. Does it ring a bell? I have to keep on asking because I just don't
And
know.
it's always going to ring a bell, Gene. It's always going to ring a bell. The issue is that it doesn't make it someplace from someplace else. It goes, this feels familiar. It's deja vu. We get it in
Okay,
reality here on Earth all the time.
Well, you might even say like, "This is
that's
home."
familiar.
That looks like the Capitol building of my home, but it's just not in the place that you thought it might be.
Right.
Yeah, the flag is familiar to me. I
Yeah. The grounds around it don't make any sense. The grounds around it are not set up in the. There's no rose garden. There's no mall. None of that. Just this weird white building all by itself. What's also interesting is that there is doesn't appear to be any plant life encroaching on the structure. So it doesn't have any ivy growing up on the outside of it, or any hedges even within 15 feet of it.
You know, I have a question,
Yeah.
and this is totally in meta, 100% meta. Gene, don't flip out. Um, remember in up north where we were seeing all of the Earth monuments?
Yes.
What happened with those?
That is a good question. What up with those?
You mean the Sphinx
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in particular? Yeah,
And
Sphinx and
like,
the
that,
pyramid and a couple of
yeah,
others. Yeah.
I think we
yeah.
saw the
yeah,
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. I think somebody found the Washington Monument also someplace else. Another campaign.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Now we got the White House
Hmm.
or the Capitol
The
building,
Capitol
whichever one.
building. Yep.
So yeah.
It's just it,
So what we're saying here is that Earth stole those from Nycos, because they are from Nycos, obviously.
Or they were built here after the manner of something someplace else.
Well, they're from here,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're totally from here.
yeah.
Everything's from here. Everything is from here.
Nycos is the heart of the universe,
Hmm.
of all creation.
Anyway, that strange structure is the only building you can see from this edge of the hex. There might be more, but it's more than likely covered in all that underbrush, and some of that underbrush might eat you. So
Does it
Kinda
look
like-
overgrown?
I mean,
no, it doesn't look overgrown. It looks spick and span, minty, fresh. Even looks like the statuary has been polished.
oh,
The
So
statuary, but the columns have been polished.
is there enough of a space for us to park above it?
Yes.
Do you guys want to go down and investigate
yes.
for Valara's sake? Because it looks
Yeah,
familiar to her.
the water steak.
All right. So you guys descend down. You're hovering above it. You can use your rope ladders and ascent methodologies to get down.
Heart falls with style.
I grab him and do feather fall.
No, I have new legs.
Right.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the springy thing. So go ahead and make a. This is actually a structural test. Roll a d4.
Where's my D4? One.
Yeah. So okay. So you land light enough that you don't go through the roof. It wasn't. It wasn't a test of your agility.
Oh,
It was what.
I wasn't planning on landing on the roof. I was planning on landing on the lawn in front of it.
Oh no, you said above it. I didn't think you meant to land out in front of it. There is no.
That is true.
The plant life grows to within 50 feet of it, so it'd be kind of sketchy to land. I suppose if you want to land on the dirt, you could. But I did hurt. I did.
Yeah, I thought
think
he was
you were
landing
right
on the
above
roof
it.
too, honestly.
Well, I was assuming that we would land in front of it, but it's kind of rude to clearly in a lived-in house to jump on the roof.
No, I know, but that's again. I was only going with what was said, which was, can we hover above it? So
Yep,
yes.
that's what I heard.
So okay,
anyway.
gonna land out in front of it. It's gonna be a little bit more dangerous. Captain's gonna take a little bit more elevation.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
I was thinking. So in
The-
my mind, I was thinking that we would leave the ship like above, mostly above the house, but where we could drop our ropes down onto the front porch, basically.
The,
The front porch of the structure has the columns, so you'll be out
Yeah.
beyond the columns.
Right.
yeah.
I know it doesn't have the big lawn, expansive lawn, but
It's
that's
got
part
50
of
feet.
overgrown.
It's got
Right.
50 feet, right?
That's enough for us to land.
I know, but okay. So the precision needs to be made. So be more clear about intent. That's fine.
That's why I clarified.
Okay. So
All right.
you're landing in the grassland out the cleared territory. As you hit the ground, you feel the ground undulate under your feet. Separately, each foot, as if something was moving underneath you, like multiple things were moving underneath you. But
Really?
that's when Hart landed, solidly and safely. He does it by falling with style, so therefore he got there first. The rest of you are coming down on ropes.
I'm not coming. I'm staying with the queen right now.
You look up in the queen.
The queen's not
the-
coming
the-
down
the-
with us, is she?
No. The queen pats your hand and says, I think you and I should be. I think we're much safer here. Thank you, Kelman, for
Yes.
staying with me." Okay, so the rest of you have descended. You also will feel the ground give a little bit, shift under your weight.
I don't like this ground.
I don't think the ground likes us either.
She quickly moves to like a stone surface.
Okay, as you're headed for the stairs, which isn't very far away, you'll notice like a little grasshopper-like thing will fly in and land on the ground near you. When it does, the ground erupts with teeth. 2 rows, like a Venus flytrap, will open up. Dirt and the insect will fall inside, and then the close. And then you'll see undulation under the soil. Whatever it was that you landed on apparently doesn't think either A, you're edible, or B, it's big enough to take you down.
Is in the meta. Is this where the hag got her lawn?
Probably.
Well,
Yeah, someplace there's a place called Scott's Tough Lawn that sells this kind of creepy life forms at a premium.
So you have to be either too big or just
When
right
you
as right.
want a lawn that will survive anything, Scott's Tough Lawn.
Well, you guys have heard of Miracle Grow, right?
Exactly. This is Curse Grow.
This, yeah, this
Cursed
is
Grow.
a desecrated grow.
Cursed
Yeah.
Grow. Nice. Okay, so you basically
Cursed to grow.
scurry. Yeah, you scurry over to the steps, and you're walking up the fine marble. The solidity of it is very comforting, and there's a coldness that seems to emanate from the structure itself. Like, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
lifelessness, but certainly a dearth of life. Like the building preceded the existence of living things, is what it almost feels like. Mausoleum, that's what I'm looking for, is that feel of a marble mausoleum.
Oh, cool.
The whiteness of the stone is fascinating because in most cases of marble there are thin lines of vein that you can see that represent its aggregate creation process. These stones appear to be markless, perfect.
Alabaster.
Have they been whitewashed?
At close inspection, no. The stones, wherever they drew them from, had no imperfection.
They were faultless.
They were faultless.
The alabaster is is a stone without usually without flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you say alabaster?
You
But
did?
alabaster is different though. Alabaster is
Is a form of marble,
All right, all right.
but it's called alabaster because it is so white without the veining.
And that's a gene thing, not a.
Yeah, that's a gene thing. That's in meta. Okay.
That's all. I
Oh,
just need to make sure that it was not a situation where we were pushing
no,
past.
no, no.
Gotcha. No problem. No problem.
Strictly meta.
Yep, yep, yep.
But
Actually it is grained, normally grained, but very fine. So it
so
makes
fine
great
that
jewelry because
yeah,
it
and
looks. It's used for.
So this
alabaster is more of a crystal like mineral almost than a.
It's
like
actually
gypsum.
it's actually specifically gypsum. Since I went to the internet to look for it, it's actually a form of gypsum. So
Yeah,
it's
marble is stuff that's actually so hard. I went to when I was in New York just recently. I went into the Hall of Geology and they actually had an exhibit about how marble is formed, and it's actually from different layers pressed together so hard that it's impossible for them to break, and it's impossible for them to actually melt because of how hard they're being pressed together. So it becomes so unusually smooth because it becomes like this super solid that's smushed together by pure force
right.
and isn't allowed to
So this is
melt.
this is
It's weird.
like I said, the whiteness here is the stark part, that there doesn't seem to be any flaws to the material, and
yeah.
yet it's got that crystal clear reflective surface. The pillars are slightly different. They seem like they might have been made out of some form of wood because there is some grain to it hidden by the white paint.
Huh.
But the paint job is immaculate. There's no specks of any paint on the flooring around or anything. Whoever did this took an extremely detailed intent and have made a perfect model of this thing.
Well, it is.
Car will
Yeah.
go up to the door. Is there a large door?
Yep, two large doors. They are hinged on the outside, very ornate in nature. The handles are a pair of double turns, so you actually turn the handles outward until they click, and then you can pull the doors out.
My heart's gonna knock.
Shaving a hair, right? No,
Uh-huh.
there is no response.
Now he tries shaving a haircut.
Still doesn't get a response.
Evil.
No, let me try. Let me figure this out. She tries first to push the handles down. That was her first inclination.
Well, they're just two L hooks.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious. You can probably see the wear marks on the wall where the door handles have actually touched, as people have opened
Oh.
them
So
before.
sweep, sweep.
So as I said, her first inclination is to just pull down on the levers,
And
and
it'll go
then
anywhere.
she
So
kind of looks at it and goes, "Well, let's try the
sure,
opposite way."
you eventually figure it out. They pop open easily enough.
Oh,
Inside is a marbled entryway. The marble is a rose color with black uh, marbling. There is a sloping staircase both to the left and the right, and hanging from the center is a large round symbol. The symbol itself is faded almost out of existence, but right in the center of it says Dejana, Dejana.
Part of me looks at Valar.
Oh, is
I
this your home?
this is well, no, this is different. The columns outside look
What do you mean it's
more.
different?
It's not what I remember.
I'm talking. What? I'm talking about the Dejana, the person that you talk about that you don't like.
Uh,
The
yeah. Except he calls himself a freak Dejana.
That's what the plaque says. It says
This,
Dejana.
this is Dejana.
I have no idea, but I just as soon leave. I don't need to know more. It's not. It's not that which I have in my memory. It's close. I mean, just looking at it,
What is it that it's not in your memory?
that it is that I know the columns was made of the same stone as the building, and those seem to be something different. The columns outside. It
Okay.
just and I don't I don't remember this color, but all I really have is some sort of picture in my head.
So you've been in the in Meta. Valar's been in the state house.
No, in Meta, I can't think of how why she would get as far as there. Uh,
So for all
consider,
intents and purposes, there's no way for her to know that this isn't
but
exactly the
but
state house.
yeah,
Mm.
it's true. She would not know if it's an exact copy, but
Okay, in the meta, Gene, why is it? Why are you balking? I need to understand.
uh
Because
uh
normally when you adventure, you go, "Oh, that's interesting. That's cool," and you keep moving. In this case, coming to the door and going, "I don't want to go any further." Is it because of Dejana? Because if so, then you need to respond to that. If it's not because of Dejana, you got to let me know what it is.
well, it's mostly
Why are
because
you balking? Why are you as a player balking? Is what I'm looking for.
of a free déjeuner.
Then say that. Say that name.
Okay,
I don't want to go any further.
yeah,
That freaks me out. I don't know what that means. I know that I've heard that name, but I can't place it. And just let that go.
Well, would
That's
she still
fine.
remember the Avatar meeting that she had with him?
yeah. She actually met him.
Right.
Well, sort of.
Right.
At
She
least his voice.
right. Yes, you could draw on that, but you need to explain why you're doing
Okay,
things. Because when you go mysterious like this, I can't. There's nothing for me as the GM to grab a hold of and pull on to
okay.
make it get
She
better.
said
Just a
it's
second, let me
that.
finish. Let me finish. And there's
Yeah.
also nothing for the other players to realize why you're balking, and that frustrates everybody because we can't move forward because we don't know what to do. So
Okay.
if you have something, let me know because that way, when you let me know, we all know, and we can make the story different. But when you
Yeah.
go, I'm not going any further, and then you try to come up with reasons that aren't in character or not evident to other players, there's no way anybody can help us.
Okay. She says that a free déjeuner. Look at he makes me uncomfortable, and and as far as I just don't want to have to deal with it.
Right. Well, he has no bearing on you. If you don't like the person, you might as well know their seat of power, because if anyone has a seat of power, this would be one. So if you mean to go against him, then you might as well know all you can, right?
You have a point. You have a point. Okay, let's take a look at this place.
I mean, it's not like we're asking to be his dinner guest or signing a contract with him or anything.
Besides, this place just seems so still.
Well, it probably has to be, otherwise the life from the outside would invade.
I wonder why it hasn't.
Obviously, there's some sort of magics here that are stopping it.
You saw eating creatures that eat anything that comes too close.
Um,
What's Freya's take on this?
Freya, can you take a reading on it magic wise?
Well, I'm just noticing what would Freya think about seeing this beautiful white building?
I want to explore every inch of it, but also just I think it looks very beautiful. Other than that, I don't really have much.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so
Mm.
again, the marble floor, beautifully laid out is just picture perfect reflection of the staircases visible in the mirror in its mirrored surface. There are service entrances to the left and the right at the base of the stairs going back into the wings of the building. Behind the stairs there is an atrium of some sort, and you can see plant life, and even perhaps a bird or two will fly by in the distance behind the central panel with the Dejana lettering on it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, not totally lifeless. Perhaps it's a good sign. And then
Left,
we
right, up the stairs, down, yeah, up the stairs, left, up the stairs, right, straight through,
straight through.
service hallway. What do you want to do?
I
Straight.
say we deal with one floor at a time, so straight
So
through.
straight ahead on this floor.
Okay. So as you pass by the stairs, there are two small tables on either side, finely wrought from what looks like cherry or a deep reddish wood. On the top are
Ooh.
little folded triangles of either cloth or maybe even some really fine paper, and each one of them has uh, the emblem of NASA on them.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Yep.
Yes, it was the symbol of those weird crafts we found once.
Hmm. How would? Oh, give me a second. Be right back.
Of course, every time it comes to the phrase going to say, there's a voice.
You think she times it exactly like that when
I
he
don't think
starts to
so.
talk?
I don't think so. That the world is not so poorly designed. Is Hart or Valara going to interact with the tables? Otherwise, you just move past it and head into the rest of the
She
atrium.
goes up to the table and takes a good look at the
All right,
folded
sorry about that.
There's a
paper.
little tiny folded table tent in front that says, "Please take one."
She doesn't. She just
She
kind
does
of like,
not. Okay.
yeah. It says, please take one, but I'm deciding no.
Okay.
What language is that in?
It appears to be common.
Okay.
NASA.
I have a look at the table. How big is the table?
It's about 3 foot by 1 foot oval.
Side table.
Yeah, about yeah.
Half of a oval.
No, they're oval.
Oh, a complete oval.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would this look nice next to my?
The table looks nice. There's also they'd be too tall for your chase.
Yeah, I think it would look really nice next to your chase.
There.
Yeah, I think it would look really nice.
And technically, the sign does say, "Please take one."
Yeah. So, Hart, can you grab this? This is.
No, I think if no, I'm not gonna take it.
They said please take one.
I think it means one of the little napkins things, but I don't think we should. But we're talking about the table. You wanted the table?
Yeah.
So you have to carry it yourself, is what it phrase. What Hart is saying. It's not. It
You
wouldn't be
can-
heavy. It wouldn't be heavy. It'd be a little cumbersome because you have to,
You could come back and pick it up.
Yeah, I'll do
Well,
that. I'll
we're
come
by
back.
the entrance.
Yeah. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking past that into the atrium, it covers. It's a banquet sized room, so it's pretty big. The reason why it's an atrium is the top here has been torn near the upper back. Not the roof itself is still in good shape, but the upper windows on one side look like they've been broken in, and there is what looks to be a triangle of metal and cloth tilted into the ground just to the right of where you entered. Hanging from it appears to be a gnome, suspended head down and apparently dead.
Say that again. You're with your hand
Okay.
over your mouth. It's kind of weird.
Okay, so sorry for that. There's a triangle of metal and cloth point down into the ground, so one of the triangle arms is still in the sky, and suspended behind it is a gnome, but he apparently is lifeless and dead, hanging from the rig.
I'm having such a hard time picturing what this looks like. A triangle of metal
Think
and
of
cloth.
a what do they call them? A parafoil, not a parafoil,
Yeah,
but
hang glider.
hang glider.
Somebody flew a hang
Trying-
glider through the top back window of this atrium
Oh, okay.
and
So
crashed.
No.
a triangular metal flame with cloth stretched across it, and he's hanging upside down.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
got it. Face down.
That or he was trying to glide over the vegetation and lost control.
Whatever it was, he slammed into the back of the building, came through the glass, and crashed into the ground.
And died.
The tendrils of growth seem to be coming from his pockets. So the biggest, thickest tendrils of the growth in this room seem to have come from him. Furthermore, the birds that you see flying actually seem to be extensions on tiny tendrils from the root itself, meant to lure you in close.
Part,
Fire.
exchanges some of his lifter arms for firearms. He has a saw, scythe, firearms ready.
All right.
Yep. Hey, you know what to
It's
do
kind
with
of like
this,
a
right?
little Superman change. He puts the blue box down, runs inside, runs out, firearms.
Right. So as you come back out, you'll hear this thrumming sound coming across the ground. You'll hear it crash into like metal serving platters and some porcelain, so it's making breaking sounds as well. But it's a thrumming sound, and over the body of this wreckage, this debris, comes about an 18-foot long millipede.
Burn it. Sorry.
Ah,
The only thing that's weird is that its face is configured so that the insectoid plates push together to make the semblance of a human face.
Burn it.
Even
Sorry,
where
okay.
the two lowest mandibles stay together and they're colored darker, so it gives it kind of a beard-like appearance.
I touch Hart's shoulder. And I whisper to him, burn it.
you want to wake everything up?
Burn it all.
Do you want to wake everything up?
No? I guess not.
Then we back out before it sees us.
Alright.
So yeah, you're peering back around the corner and using the reflection on the floor to be able to see it. You see it pulls its body up to about 5 foot of height, so leaving the other 12 feet coiled behind it, and it looks around a little bit, and then scurries back into the underbrush.
So, did you want that table? Bring it back to the ship?
No, I'm good. Yeah. It was
just
second
table.
hack goods. Yeah, no, it's alright.
Shall we withdraw?
Does anybody have some oil? Maybe we can burn down this place? Oh, no, never mind. Let's go. Let's leave.
Well, you got wings and wings to search yet. That was just the atrium, the open part in the
Okay.
back.
Let's go to the right. Oh, well,
So
okay.
sometimes, it's okay to leave.
Okay,
That's-
you say there's a door on this level to the right and one to the left.
A hall entrance, the two service entrances, plus the two main halls.
Okay.
Is there a way to lock the door at least?
There
Or-
is, but it's a fine glass French door, fourfold. They're currently racked to the left and right, so you'd have to work them and drag them across their
It'd be
tracks.
loud.
You can not only would they be loud, but they're debris filled, and so it might not be real smooth to get them open.
And they look pretty flimsy either way.
Yeah, and they're only glass. glass panes
Okay.
and wooden frames.
Let's go to the right first and check down the hallway.
Okay, another reason why I asked this is because I don't want us to make a loud noise or drop something, and then we have enemies at our backside and at our front.
That's
Why?
right. No, that makes sense. But also, do you want to make a lot of noise making that not a case?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should just leave. Oh well.
Well, we can just move quietly as
Okay.
we
Well,
possibly can.
backing back out and looking down that right hallway, it is kind of surprising to see that the floor is as polished as the central hall is. It was possible that the central hall might have been magicked, but to think that if somebody would go through the effort of making the entire place magic to be clean all the time seems like an extravagance of great power. Down this passageway, you do see a secondary entrance to the atrium. That you can see that the palm fronds or the plant life in the atrium has not crossed the threshold into this dark hallway.
Okay.
And there are pairs of doors going down, three pairs going down this hallway into the darkness, two beyond the atrium entrance and one before.
Well, let's go through these pairs of doors, and then we'll
Okay.
sneak
How about
past the
some light?
atrium.
Alrighty,
Art will turn on his light.
it is 10 o'clock, so we are at the stopping time for this stream. We will continue the investigation of the Wilderlands White House next time on
Nycos
Shatterhorn.
D&D.
Yeah, next time on Nike's D&D. Thank you guys for being participants and playing along with me and putting up with me. Thank you to our viewers for staying with us and watching. We will all see you all next time, and don't forget we're doing something every day, and also watch for Iteration Nation. Fun stuff coming up this week. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.